battle for Middle-earth is about to begin.
So it begins.
Send these foul beasts into the abyss!
Welcome to the Zorpazorp Battle Games in Middle-earth livestream. In this series, we cast our gaze back in time to the roots of our beloved Middle-earth strategy battle game to explore the fortnightly magazine serial Battle Games in Middle-earth. Each episode, we will delve into a single issue, poring over a treasure trove of retro gaming, following in-depth painting guides, terrain tutorials, and some crazy battle reports, all with a modern twist so you guys can enjoy them in your games at home. With each installment, we'll also focus on a release of models that accompanied the magazine, following their journey from painting bench to tabletop, and then at the end of every live stream, they'll be randomly assigned to one of our loyal Patreons to continue their days of gaming abroad, spreading the gospel of Zorpazorp. So, in the immortal words of the magazine itself, let battle commence. Welcome to the Battle Games in Middle-earth livestream. My name is Lachlan Linton Keane, and we have not done one of these in a while. It has been our little Christmas break, and now we are ready to jump back into a 2021 full of Middle-earth live streams here on Zorpazorp. It's going to be a pretty special way to kick off the year as well, because we have my boy. It's all about the Horse Lords. It's all about Rohan today. We have got the wonderful Amma in issue number 18, but live stream number 23. 23 of these we have done over the last year, which is pretty awesome. So, if you're new around here, which you may well be, this is a normally fortnightly series every Monday morning, Sunday night, depending on where you are in the world, every fortnight. We do a live stream here on the channel where we go through the Lord of the Rings Battle Games in Middle-earth, which was a magazine serial that came out in the early 2000s. With every fortnight, a magazine would come down to your local newsagent, and inside would be scenarios and painting guides. You'd get some paints, and you'd get a set of models. And each fortnight here on the channel, we go through one of those magazines, we paint up the models that were given out with that issue, and then we grab the wholly updated Patreon wheel, and we give away those models or assign them to one of our Patreons over on patreon.com/Zorpazorp, and they become the official sponsor of those models through the campaign. The models stay here for the time being. They play through the scenarios. There's 91 of these magazines in this full campaign. We're up to issue number 18, and all the models appear in different battle reports and games throughout the series, and then once they've been able to barrack for and watch their models, they get to name them, and they get to kind of really root for them and enjoy their journey. I'll post them out to wherever they live all around the world. So it's pretty fun. We've had heaps of crazy stories. We've had characters and names be created from the Patreon minis. The most famous, of course, is from Series 1, the Moria Goblins, 12 goblins known as Groblog's Gobjobs by Mr. James Carver in New Zealand. They've killed Aragorn 3 times. They've got a pet troll. They're crazy. There's all sorts of shenanigans. We've got Damien O'Byrne's wonderful Urukai, who have all got amazing names, and one of them in particular, Mr. Goldie, was accidentally painted with a gold base coat and became affectionately known in the chat as Goldie, and now has about 8 special rules because of his incredible feats during battle. So we like to go a little bit off script here, a little bit crazy on the Battle Games Middle-earth live stream. So today, we are painting up Amma. Now, how amazing would it be to be able to be Amma in my battle reports? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. You can call him like Amma, son of whatever your name is, and we get to watch him kick ass because he is in so many awesome battle reports. And speaking of battle reports, we have got a ripper today. So we're painting up Amma, and then we are playing through Wrath of Rohan, one of the most famous scenarios of all time. We'll dive into that in a sec. Let's go and say hello to the chat and see who is here. Oh, I see Kylie has joined us as the most recent comment. Morning, Kyles. But let me go all the way back up to the top. Oh, God. Chat's going off. We've got lots of people screaming death in excitement for Rohan. I very much share that sentiment. Although I played a tournament 2 days ago, and not with Rohan for the first time in 2.5 years. It was an interesting experience. I like me some Fight 5 LV boys. They're good fun. And Fight 7 heroes. Rivendell. I love it. We've got Mean Green says, "Arise, Riders of Theoden." Georgie Ramstead says, "Good morning, Michael Broad. Spears shall be shaken." Adam James Miniatures says, "Let's go, Lockie. Good evening, everyone." He's pretty pumped for the stream. Lots of people screaming Rohan quotes. I won't read all of them to you. We'll be here all morning. We've got someone watching from Greece that says B Sigma. So I'm not sure what that is in Greek, but that's an awesome name. Johnny Russell, good evening from Scotland. Good evening, Johnny. Mean Green, as always, tuning in from the Netherlands. Oh man, what is with the Netherlands crew? There are so many people who watch from the Netherlands. It always baffles me. We've got WKH13 from the Netherlands. We've got Hans from the Netherlands. Marky Tribe watching in from Toowoomba here in Queensland. We've got congratulations on your 3rd placing on the weekend, Mr. Marky Tribe. We've got Mick Descar. Good, lovely to see you, Mick. Beast Mode 3000 is very excited to be tuning in. Aaron Noonan, hey Aaron, and Ranga Katterberg from the Netherlands. What? The Netherlands crew is massive. And of course, they're all chatting amongst themselves, as always. They've got like a little SBG cult over there. Odie is tuning in. Evening, Odie, or early, late afternoon, Odie, I think, where you are. We've got Ruud to Host from the Netherlands. Hey, everyone from the Netherlands, did I get the time wrong on the live stream card that I put up on Facebook for Central Europe? Because Tim Hazelkamp, also from the Netherlands, was like, "Isn't it starting at like 10 p.m. and it's not I put up midnight." Let me know and I'll finally fix that. Michael Haskell is joining us from a cold UK. Talked to my sister in Adelaide this morning and listening to Lockie in Brisbane this evening. It's National Australia Day on Tuesday. Yes, indeed it is. We've got Benny Jones tuning in from Scotland, Count Jeffrey, James Palmer from the UK. Seems like the last one was ages ago watching the intro video. Yeah, it's been a while since we've done a live stream because we had, there was a Christmas break, and then in the 2 streams leading up, we had like the Grimbold special stream and then the Christmas special stream, and then last week I got food poisoning. And from legitimately eating moldy bread. We were playing Amma up late, like 3 a.m. in the morning with some of the Patreons, and Larissa was like, she's pregnant at the moment, and she couldn't sleep, and she's like, "Make me a sandwich." And so I was like, "Well, I want two," so I made sandwiches like without the light turned on properly in the kitchen, and then I went and gave her hers, and I'm like in the middle of a firefight, like stuffing this sandwich into my face, trying to like give the boys suppressive fire because they ran off while I was making my sandwich, and then Larissa comes like screaming in, "Don't eat the sandwich, it's all moldy." And then for the next 3 days I felt like death. So that was fun. That was really fun. So that's why there was no stream last week. Apologies for that. Now we're starting on this week, and the fortnights will begin askew. Paul Carroll is always tuning in from Ireland. Tim Hazelkamp, as I was just speaking about, from the Netherlands. Swear half their population tunes into these live streams. Andy Marchant! Good morning, Andy, the wonderful creator, or owner at least, of the siege towers that everyone is nagging me to make a tutorial about. How good did they look up against the massive walls? Dude, that Minas Tirith build is like... yeah. Talk about biting off more than I can chew. Alright, this is completely refreshed now. Oh, there we go. We've got Rain Rinner from Austria. Count Jeffrey says he wishes they would re-release the magazines. How good would it be if we got another Middle-earth part work? With like magazine series? It would be amazing. I hope so. We just had one for... there was, the 40k Conquest one, wasn't there? And then Age of Sigmar just had one. So, I mean, Games Workshop are at least still very familiar with the marketing technique. I would say our best chance would be alongside Amazon with a swathe of new releases. But who knows if that's even going to happen. We will have to wait and see. We've got another amazing name in Cyrillic characters in Greek, so I won't be attempting to say that one, but lovely to have you tuning in from Greece. Jody from Ireland, AD Phoenix from Wales, Renga Katterberg says half of Netherlands seems to be on this stream. I think that's confirmed now. Renga's a Netherlandian, so I think that I think half the population is tuning in. I like it. Maito Colo has joined us, who is also from the Netherlands. Rude to Hurst says the same. We've got Benjamin Lorick. Good evening from Denmark. Good morning, Kylie. You got first in, but you can have it again. Giacomo is joining us from Italy. Hey, dude. He's binge-watched a lot of the videos during the holidays, and I'm currently going through the Battle Company campaign. I cannot wait to finally film Season 2. One day, we'll get there. Yes, Mick Descar says, does he stream in the morning so that he streams it in the evening in Europe? Yeah, so obviously the vast majority of my viewer base is Britain and Central Europe and America. So this way I stream first thing in the morning in Australia and New Zealand. Sorry. and then the other streaming times around the world are like afternoon and evening. And then the flip side of that is whenever I do more relaxed video game streams, they're always at night our time, and then no one else in Central Europe gets to watch. So Bruce Gilhooly says hello from Scotland, first time being able to watch live. Thank you for joining us, Bruce. Charlie Moreno tuning in from the West Coast, another one who got to see his handiwork on the Minas Tirith video. We've got Wolftrem from Germany. Bledsoe's joining us from Poland. Chris McLean from Brisbane. Hell yeah, dude. Have a good day at work. Try not to work too hard. Charlie Moreno says, are you painting the new Amma? And my answer to that is yes, sort of. I'll show you in a sec. Yes, but no. I'm like an elf. We've got Sam Thorpe from Exeter in the UK says, I've been looking forward to this. Scotty Gaming from the UK. KS is playing 3 siblings as Rivendell in... my chat refreshed halfway through reading a comment. I got the New Zealand time wrong as well, says Unjointed Goose. It's highly likely. I just clicked one of the images and uploaded it. Probably forgot it. Michael Broad's watching from Chile, England. Where was that comment? Here we go. KS, playing 3 siblings in Rivendell Battle Companies League. So wait, are you all playing Rivendell? Or are you running Rivendell in your sibling Battle Company League, KS? Count Jeffrey says, we all know Australia is the best. Well, I mean, I think New Zealand's a good contender, but we're pretty up there. Not at beating India at cricket, apparently. Michael Broad is watching from a chilly Kent in England. The Emperor of Mankind. Oh man, my window's open. Can you guys hear that plane? We live under a flight path. Probably not, because the mic's this way. So loud. Joshy Summers is joining us. Good morning, Josh, or evening. Keely is tuning in. Edragon, the Emperor of Mankind. Oh my god. Thanks, dude. Can't believe you've got... you gotta be like... You're a busy dude. Protecting us from, all the evil things in the warp. I'm glad you got time to, have a bit of time for yourself while everyone's dying on the Golden Throne for you and watch a live stream. That's really good. We've got Paul from Bristol in the UK. We've got Shawnee Rosado, my doubles partner from Saturday. Good times, good times. Well, I thought I started work at 7 a.m, but turns out I start at 9:30. It's very nicely set up. AD Phoenix, I've only just started watching this series, so I have a bunch to catch up on. Yes, there's a lot of hours. At the beginning, I was very optimistic and very energetic and very unbusy, and the streams went for like 6 hours. Now they go for about 2.5 to 3, because I'm a bit more reasonable and I've got a lot of stuff to do. And, most people are in bed. We want to get to the battle report before everyone goes to bed. James Cutt says, worse than Pippin with bread. Aaron said, hang on a sec, did you say Larissa's pregnant? Yes, we have another one on the way. We're 25 weeks now. Thanks, dude. Thank you, Aaron. Darren says the same. Congrats, Lockie and Larissa, number 2. Yes. We're having another surprise. We're not sure if it's a boy or a girl. Wait and see. It's going to be fun. Daystra the Dextra says, that's the second mold threat I hear about in your house. Clean that wet palette. Literally just did that. It's mold everywhere. Jerion says, a tournament's already back in Australia. Yeah, we've had every now and then we have like a little outbreak where we might have like 20 cases, but on the vast majority, particularly up here in Queensland, community transmission is very low to non-existent. At the moment, it's non-existent, but every now and then there's a little spike. You know, somehow a couple of cases get out of hotel quarantine or something. But yeah, so like 3 weeks ago, there was like a little, we were like, oh, we might have to cancel this one, but then it all chilled out. So we had a very normal tournament experience yesterday. We still have to have sanitizer on all the tables. You just don't touch each other's models. Everyone rolls their own dice in dice boxes, and you can't touch each other's dice. If you have any symptoms, you're not allowed at the venue. So we do smart stuff. But we are able to play games at the moment. Every now and then we might have to cancel or postpone a tournament by a few weeks, but it's pretty awesome being able to play games. Stupid chat refreshing. Was it up to Bledsoe? There is a legend that Grimbold's pony was flying over the Pacific Ocean 3 days ago. Is that so? Maybe 30 days ago. Nate Grubb says he's joining from the US, doing a 15-hour shift at Amazon right now. Brutal! Hope they're paying you good overtime. Scotty Gaming says, did you eat the maggoty bread for 3 stinking days? No, I ate it and then died for 3 stinking days. So it was almost spot on. Tim says, yeah, I had all the times wrong. That's good to know. I'll fix them up. Handsome Patter says, hello, what exactly is this? This is the Battle Games Middle Earth live stream. I'm just saying hello to everyone at the moment, but soon we'll be diving into a retro Lord of the Rings magazine series. We do this every fortnight where we paint a model and then play some battle reports with that model live on stream and then give the model away at the end. We've got Dale Groves joining us. Darren Jeeves is tuning in from England. Lots of English here as well. Declan says, sadly I won't be able to stay and watch this one, but I'm looking forward to watching it while finishing his massive Riders of Theoden project, and you'll all be happy to know that he's putting his Royal Guard on Easterling Cataphract horses. Love it. Alright, I think that's almost everybody. I say that, but there's a lot more here that have just joined in. Michael from the Netherlands. Nate's Miniatures, morning my dude. Niall, how you going, man? We've got Nathan Talbot, first time viewing from Lincolnshire in England. Aaron says that Patreons should be allowed to name baby number 2. You'll have to take that one up with Larissa. I don't think we'll get that to fly through. George Galloway from snowy Edinburgh. Yeah, I saw you guys had a bit of snow, actually. Bo Roberts, thanks for the congrats. Dylan Patel says, as an Indian cricket fan, that match was brilliant. It was a good game. Yeah, I enjoyed it. KS says, using Arwen and the twin models as battle company heroes. Very cool. I get it. Sibling battle companies. That's very cool. Very, very cool. Will you tackle the Meduseld build after Minas Tirith, says Nicholas? Probably. I want to build Meduseld and the rest of my big Edoras build when I'm in New Zealand, because I don't want to have to move it. It's already going to be, I've got so much terrain already that I'm going to have to put on a ship and sail over to New Zealand. So I don't want to build it here, I don't think. So it's probably at least a couple of years away. But Minas Tirith's going to keep me busy for a while. Obviously that's so modular, so it's going to be much more easy to post. Whereas I want to build the Edoras build like completely unmodular, like film perfect. So yeah, we'll have to see. It'll probably be a while. All right, let's get into it. What do we have to talk about this morning? So we're painting up Amma. We've got some pretty cool stuff to do. We're going to read through our old magazine. We're going to play an epic battle report. So we're playing Wrath of Rohan today. Wrath of Rohan is, I believe, and I might be wrong, but I think I put this question in one of our Ardor Unleashed trivias. Kylie might be able to attest to this if she remembers. But I think that Wrath of Rohan is the most published scenario ever. It appears first here in Battle Games in Middle-earth. Then it's in the Two Towers edition rulebook. Then it's in the Big Blue rulebook. Then it's in the Two Towers Journey book. Then it's in Kingdoms of Men from the Blue Book Army Book editions. And then it's in the new Armies book we have now. And then it's in War in Rohan. So this scenario has been rewritten and featured in at least 7. And it's also in White Dwarf, and it's also in Best of White Dwarf. So 9 different publications feature this scenario, and we are playing the very first version of it that was written by was this written by Rick Priestley? I think it was adapted from the one he wrote for the rulebook. So it is going to be very, very cool indeed. So what I'm going to do is throw up my holding screen, and I'm going to swing the camera over to the other side, and then we can go and get ready to paint up Amma, 3rd Marshal of the Riddermark. Alright, we are ready to rock and roll. So, we have issue 18 of the Battle Games in Middle-earth live stream, and it is a wonderful little issue. Look at this beautiful Amma we have on the cover. It's going to be good fun. So, let's dive in and see what we see. I'm going to grab my chat up, actually. Should be slightly more organized. I've done this. New people weren't here waiting on me. It's alright, I have it tabbed open already. That's the organization we like. Alright. So, Amma, Marshal of the Riddermark. Look at this badass production still. That is awesome. He looks sick. I'll move this over so you guys can see. Got a really nice close-up on his blade here as well. You can see the curved detail of the hilt. These are great photos to have because they're just really nice references. You can see his chainmail isn't silver. It's like a burnished steel. And then the plate mail is that kind of crisp silver. So I think we'll... Oh! Ads on my own live stream. So I think we will, we'll take note of that and do like some pretty nice kind of flat silver work and then burnish the steel. So you guys in the chat, remind me to look at burnished chainmail. And then yeah, we're not going to read about Amma. Then this was like the first time that we got the kind of Forces of Rohan published, because this was coming out sort of end of 2001, so these profiles were around, and now you know, we're starting to get some new and interesting stuff. So this is like some old school profiles right here. This is the original incarnation of Theoden when he was absolutely garbage. And we have where's my live chat? There you are. Now I can see you all. And we can just, like, 2 might, 0 will, 2 fate, still fight 5 and 2 attacks. Geez, 2 fate was alright though, 2 wounds and 2 fate, actually slightly more resilient than he is now. But this 0 will or low will for Theoden hung around for years. That didn't disappear until this edition, which was nice because it actually made him pretty playable. And then we've got Amma. This is the early edition Amma. Only 2 attacks, only 2 wounds, only 2 will and 2 fate. Nowhere near the beast he would eventually become, but still 75 points. So certainly not the greatest profile by modern standards. We've got Gamling and the Royal Standard. And here we go. The original incarnation of the Royal Standard was exactly the same until, like, you know, 6 months ago. So, anyone within range of 3 inches of Gamling got their might points back. Absolutely nuts. We've got the Delicious Royal Guard, who are exactly the same as they have always been. We've got, talking about shields and armor, there's the captains, there's warriors, and there's riders. And that was it! There's Eowyn in there as well, but that was it for Rohan heroes. Theoden, Amma, Eowyn, and Gamling, and then Royal Guard, warriors, and riders. And look, there wasn't even an official captain model when this came out. It's just a rider of Rohan in close-up. So there we go. Good stuff. Look at these beautiful horses. And then we have the Wrath of Rohan, which we'll be playing through today, which is absolutely badass. We've got all the orcs, all the Uruk-hai, the riders, the Rohirrim, and Merry and Pippin trying to escape from the camp. It's going to be good stuff. Going to be good stuff. And they've got a little tactica, and then a little painting guide, which is what we'll be doing today. And we sure as hell won't be following their guide, because it's very, very basic. And then they have a little piece of terrain. Oh yeah, I've got to remember to find my tents. They're somewhere in all those crates. I've got all the terrain in my house from the tournament yesterday. So it's going to be pretty nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up to... Let's keep this page open so that I can reference that. I'll throw that out of the way. And here we have Amma, Marshal of the Riddermark. Let's see if I can get this looking nice for you guys. So, as you can see, it is the old school original sculpt, but with a twist. So this particular Amma was secondhand. I threw him in Metho, I stripped him down, and he had a really dodgy throwing spear conversion. And I, as you will have known, have just chopped up the crap out of my plastic Amma, so I had a whole lot of pieces left over. So what you see here is plastic Amma's left hand and plastic Amma's right forearm and elbow, changed and chopped so that it meshes perfectly with the old metal, and he just looks like an absolute beast with this ridiculous heroic scale sword. I love it so much. So we're going to be painting this guy today, and I've just realized that of course he's not on a base. How the hell am I going to hold him? I could glue him. I could just do a little tack join to a cavalry, but I love the idea that it's going to be easy to paint, but I don't want to be having to hold the parts that I'm painting What we could do is grab my pin vise here and drill out a little mounting point for him. So let's do that, I think. There you go, you get to see my live prepared state. So I'm going to drill a hole, and then I'll just grab like a toothpick and stick that into a piece of foam to make a little homemade painting handle. Now I'm really interested to know what you had to say there, Kylie. Message retracted. Should probably just lent on the keyboard. What's everyone saying in the chat while you watch me drill something? It was issue 18. Of course it would be basic. Yeah, indeed. Indeed, indeed. We've got people talking about the new models that are coming out. Remember, guys, if you're keen on any of those old models, you've got a week to order them from the made to order that went up last or 2 days ago. They're only available for a week, so if you want any of those new cave trolls, or the old cave trolls, I should say, that have been out of production for ages, that is your ticket. Alright, I'm going to grab a toothpick. 1 second. Oh, actually, do I have a painting handle ready in here? No, they're in my top drawer. Here we go. Chunk of foam, piece of wood. So what we want to do is get this hole nice enough that I can jam this in there and he'll sit on there. So let's drill that a little bit more. Oh, Aaron says that he's posted up a whip thread on the group. Thank you, Aaron. So if anyone wants to post up photos, we've got the Zorpazorp community Facebook page. If anyone wants to post up photos of what they're working alongside with me, then I can have a look at the end of the stream and see what's happening. Are we going to hold in there yet? Getting there, getting there. There's my big knife. Where's my big knife gone? All my Leatherman. The rummage through jaws. Alright, so I'm just going to cut this down a little bit, so it's a bit thicker, and I'll be able to glue this bad boy in. There we go. Cool, 1 AM are ready to paint in before he falls off this like 50 times throughout the stream. So, let's talk about Scheme. Now, you guys will notice that he is primed in Lead Belcher, and there's a very important reason for this. It's because all of the recessed detail on his red leather armor is silver. So, we'll have a look here. I'll just close down a bit so you guys can friggin' see. So, he's got all of this beautiful leather armor, and it's actually steel plate mail that is then embossed with leather over the top. It's not leather mail with silver details or gold. It's the exact same armor as Theoden, but with silver and red instead of gold and red. So if you guys have a look here, you can see that the silver details is the plate underneath, and the red details is the stuff on top. So now all we have to do is paint red on the raised details, and we've already got the silver there, and we can wash it and that can gleam through. So that is where we're going to start. We're going to start with our big old reds, and I'm going to do a pretty sweet little technique here. I'm going to grab my 3 favorite reds. We're going to start with a cooler scarlet red, which is a really nice base. And then I'm going to wet blend in Gory Red and Bloody Red from Vallejo. And I'm going to do that sort of as I'm going. I'm not going to wash my brush in between. I'm just going to have all 3 of these reds on the palette. And before each little piece that I'm working on is drying, I'm going to be dipping into the lighter reds and adding edge highlights. And that way we can just finish the entire red armor in one massive step, rather than moving through the 3 stages. I'm just shaking the crap out of these because it's been a while since I've done red, and Vallejo will separate a little bit in these dropper bottles, and I still haven't bought agitators, Aaron. Alright, so let's throw down a bit of scarlet red, and we want these to be, because we're blending, we want them to be, I mean, thin's not too bad if a little bit of thin stuff comes off the top, but at least for the base, yeah, see, that gory red is too thin. Mute your eyes for here. I'm just going to mute you for a sec. 1 sec, guys. Alright, make sure you guys can still hear me. Sorry, I just had to absolutely belt the crap out of my Vallejo pot. There we go. See, that's better. A bit of actual consistency in the paint. And I think the bloody red's usually pretty fine. Cool, so they're not completely mixed, but that's fine. I've got a nice thick coat here with my scarlet red, and then these two are thinner, and that's even thinner again. So I've got my reds to work with on my palette. Now what we're going to do is just go through and pick out all of these red details. I'm going to put my stream chat there. Holy wow, there's a lot of people tuning in today. Good morning to everybody. Good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I'm actually going to paint right over the magazine like a madman, so that I can get really good visual reference. So let's get this set up happening. I want to be able to see Amma while I'm working. I want my wet palette there. I'm probably not going to need my blotting pads, so I can go off to the side. And now I have Amma. Now if I just sit here working on him like that, you guys aren't going to be able to see, so let's pan up a little bit. So what's everyone working on in the stream? Let me know if you guys are painting along with me and what you're painting. Let's get a nice comfortable position where you guys can see. Alright, so that's my mark, and you guys will be able to see quite nicely. Bring in a little bit more light, and that should be good. So, let's have a look at this guy in terms of red. It's basically what we'll start on is we'll focus on the chest plate and the shoulder pad. So all of these little raised areas are red striped. Yeah, just every raised detail needs to be red first. I'm going to be trying out a new brush today. I've used it once before, but it's very new, which you guys will be happy to see. This is one of the Winsor & Newton synthetic series. It is one of their watercolor brushes, actually, because it's the only ones they had in stock, but it still looked like a good enough tip for minis. So I'm going to grab some scarlet red first. We're going to start with the darkest, and we're just going to go through. And I don't want too much paint on the brush at any one time, because we don't want anything to flow into recesses. And we're just going to start picking out all of these raised details. And it might seem painstaking, but the effect is going to be very cool. We want to use the side of the brush to do this, not like the tip, because that will help us keep the brush level and stop paint from accidentally flowing down into the recesses. Wow, the chat is exploding. Darren's painting Jyn Erso from Star Wars Legion. Aaron's painting Helm's Deep Legolas. Ezekiel is painting 10 Morgul Knights. Amma says, I see that's the old Amma. No, it's 80% old Amma, 15% new Amma, and then 5% mystery. So there you go. Alright, so that's all got to be red. And make sure you're posting up some progress photos as you're going. Is that big red bit red, or is that silver? Oh god, I don't know. I think it's... Unfortunately, the one photo I have doesn't show this detail. This is the problem with having such a great visual reference, is I'm being really particular about getting it right. This is not what we need on the stream, Lucky. The collar, looks like the collar is mostly red as well, with a little silver detail. So I'm going to start with this chest plate. Oh, that's too much paint. My god, I could marry this brush. So much better than the crap I normally use. Oh, we want to get all of these raised details red. Now we are going to obviously wash this at some point. But we're just trying to create... And you don't... Look, honestly, it doesn't have to be perfect, but we just want to make sure that the sense that the silver is underneath really comes through. Right, so that's starting to dry. So what I'm going to do now is switch to gory red and come in and just wet blend over the top and just really brighten up that scarlet red before the scarlet red is dry. Oops, see, I had a little bit too much paint on the brush there, and it nearly flowed into the recesses. Managing to keep this in shot for you guys, aren't I? Yeah, that's working well. Well, one thing I've discovered about this painting handle I've made, if I rest my hand here, I'm the perfect depth or width away from the model. That's fantastic. Cool, so that's looking pretty nice. Then I'm going to grab some bloody red, which is my brightest red of all. I'm just going to come in and put this in a few places. just to create some little accents. And brighten up the red in a few spots. So that is essentially the aim that we're going for so far. We're just getting those reds all over, and then the silvers and stuff. So I'm just going to keep smashing through that, and dropping my brand new brush. Keep that beautiful point. Beautiful point. For as long as I can. Alright, let's grab, let's keep doing the chest, so we're going to wrap around the side here. There's a lot of leather strapping, I think that's red as well. Basically, there's not a lot of brown on this model, which is nice for a Rohan. It's a bit of a change. And we're going to fully buy into that. So obviously we've got all this chainmail and stuff, we don't want to get that. We want to keep that silver. Leaving the silver in the recesses. Red, 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 red. That's looking fantastic. Aaron says he really likes the sword conversion. Yeah, it turned out better than I thought it would. Getting that arm to kind of kick around, and you've always got spare bits left over from that Amma box because you get so much juicy stuff in it. So yeah, it might be something worthwhile doing a little bit more often. It's coming in with the gory red and brightening those red straps. These red straps here, because they're a nice hard line, they're like a great candidate for getting a really cool edge highlight with the bloody red on the top, just to make them kind of pop. Some nice vertical straps on the back as well, which will do the same. Oh, lost me light. What's happening there? There we go. I've heard that light is important for seeing. Alright, let's grab our scarlet red. Keely's painting up plastic Ents today. The original kit, I suppose. Yeah, that's the only one that's come out in plastic. Well, not the original, but the normal Ent kit. Forge World or the Treebeard isn't out yet. Okay, let's look at these shoulders. So the edging is red leather, which is different to Theoden, where all the edging is gold. So this edge here is red leather. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. And then there's silver plate in the middle of each part of the shoulder pads. Gee, this is the worst model to try and paint quickly. So edging, just the edging. And then there's these horses which are red. So I remember when I did my Theoden, I did this like the opposite way, where I tried to paint the silver in like after the brown, and I was like, why am I doing this? This is the worst. So as soon as I was like, the next time I'm painting Amma, I'm priming him the color of the metal. Which of course in this case is silver. Alright, there we go. So that has left all the silver in the recesses. And oh no, I forgot the whole pauldron details. There we go, that's one done. Let's do the greave while we're here. So same thing, we're looking for that red edging. And then, you know, the raised detail is actually pretty hard to get. You just want to keep your brush sideways and just move from side to side, slowly lowering towards the model until you hit the plane that the raised detail's in. And if you just lower in increments, you're never going to hit the recesses, because obviously there's that difference in height. So it's if you keep your brush on the side, it's actually quite easy to pick out that side detail pretty quickly, like you just saw me do there. That was great. That worked really well. Let's do... well, that's interesting. That's very interesting. The detail's crisper in the old metal than on this forearm. Really thought the new plastic sculpt would be the easier one to paint, but that metal was a dream. What a surprise. Metals are the best. I'm shocked. Love the old pewter. Big pewter fanboy over here. Alright, let's try and get some of these raised details. Alright, that looks great. Still stunning detail. Just the difference in depth was a little more exaggerated on the metal, which is probably deliberate because the new guys are maybe trying to make it look a bit more realistic. And get the depth like perfectly to scale right, but a bit of exaggerated depth on armor detail is often helpful. Alright, so we're back on the other shoulder pad now. We're focusing on the edges, the trims of all of these little panels. It doesn't matter if you don't get it exactly right. You'll notice I've just been scarlet redding this whole time, which I sort of forgot I need to be blending. I was getting carried away with success on all the panels, so we'll have to go back and add in some pops of brighter red. That's okay. And you'll notice that like the red, because I'm adding this really bloody red highlight, you might be thinking, geez, that red's getting too bright or orange, but of course all of this, the next phase is wash entire model in Nuln oil, so like it's all gonna darken back down again. Shoulder pads. There's a horse there who needs to be painted. There's some trim there. Can't believe I'm managing to keep this on camera so well today. We've got all of these beautiful... It's like a double horse head motif on the main pauldron of the shoulder pad. It's probably the trickiest part of the armor to highlight correctly because it's not as well formed. Alright, I think that's all the red on the torso. Oh, right, we're going to do the other colours. Right, let's grab bloody red, gory red. We just want to pick out a whole bunch of the details again. It's obviously a much quicker pass because you don't have to get perfect coverage. You're just trying to lighten the red in some key spots. To give it a little bit of vibrancy, so that when we wash it down, it's not too dark. And it's a bit warmer as well. Hey, Kenny Gage is in the chat. Hey, Kenny. Good morning. Hope the little ones are being nice to you today. Get that red on all these back panels. Oh, missed a few little side details there, and then these edges. It's got to be careful when you're doing these highlight layers that because it is easier and you're going faster that you don't get sloppy and accidentally cover silver you don't want to. Like I just did. Alright, let's get a little bit of bloody red. And we'll do our final little highlight on just a bunch of small details here and there. Basically just dropping in random little points of bright red to make accent details. Just so that all the color's not completely homogeneous. I'm not thinking about light, I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just whacking down paint for visual interest. Wouldn't mind some of this orange on these greaves here, actually. Same with these arm greaves. Okay, cool. So what the hell does the helmet look like? Oh, the helmet doesn't have any red. It's all gold and silver. Okay, that's easy. then we just have the legs left. So we'll go back to Scarlet Red, and then we're almost out of the reds. That didn't take me as long as I thought it was going to. There's a lot more silver on the legs. It's basically just a couple of horse heads and the trim that we want to do here. And everything else is we're going to leave silver. There's our horse head. That one looks really good. You can see that quite obviously, quite distinctly. The trim. Trim. There's the other half of the horse head poking around. We need more red. That's a leather strap. That should be red detail. That should be red detail. Actually, yeah, that little bit down there should be red detail. Okay, let's grab our brighter reds. Let's brighten that up. Again, keeping my brush nice and horizontal. Nice and parallel to the model surface when you're painting raised details. So that you're only painting with the side of the brush. Wash my brush out and preserve that point. And it was just starting to curl over there. And then I'll grab my brightest red. And I'll just put a little accent along the tops of the horse. And then the edges. Not all the way along, just in a few little regions that are nice and pronounced. Okay, is that enough red for our beloved son? I believe his belt is also red. The scabbard is brown. His gloves are brown. The strapping. Oh, that's interesting. All of his strapping is red. There you go. I was about to go and do a whole bunch of brown straps. It's all red. There might actually be very little brown. Bit too much moisture on my brush there. I'm rinsing it out. So let's get we'll do all the straps now. We might have to repaint these a little bit. But we'll just get a coat on them down now. If we have to touch up, we have to touch up. Down goes the brown, the red, sorry. Where else has he got straps? There's the really big obvious straps around the chainmail, which look great. So these ones, for instance, we shouldn't have to touch up again, so it's worth getting these right. It's more like around the any straps over cloth, as we paint the cloth underneath. We may have to touch them up. I could choose to make a point of difference and leave the strapping like the cool red, but I don't think I'm going to. I really like this blended warm red scheme, so it's just going to go down on all the reds. What are we painting, says James Gatewood? We are painting Amma, Mr. Jimmy. And we've got 80% old metal and 15% new plastic. It's a nice little blend of the two. And then 5% mystery. That's a red strap in there. That's a red strap in there. That should be scarlet. Should be using my actual base coat. And 100% power of will, says Count Jeffrey. Yeah, absolutely. 100% trying to stay fast and not be too much of a perfectionist when live on stream. But it's good. This is the one thing I really like about these painting streams, is it's made me such a quicker painter. Because I just have to paint fast, otherwise you guys get bored. So it's just like my brush control has just gotten better through necessity. Alright, blending in that brighter red. Now this is where the red edge highlights, the brightest red edge highlights are going to be really useful. Missed his belt. I thought that was brown, so that one needs to be red as well. Goes all the way into there. So we can use this bright red, this bloody red, to like break up the strap and separate it from the armor. So I'm going to edge highlight the sides of the bright red strap, just to give that a point of difference. I might edge highlight that armor panel again as well. Okay, so is that every strap red now done? Let's check the arms. Yep, that's that done. I think that's all red on the model. No, we've got the straps on the arm. 150 of us tuning in today. Amazing. Lovely to have you guys all in for a nice relaxed painting session and then an absolutely insane battle report later today. Should be good fun. We've got lots of Patreon minis involved. We've got the James Carver's Warriors of Rohan. We've got the Ugluk and Grishnark that have been assigned to Patreons. Oh, missing a little bit there with that strap. Okay, I think red might be finished. We're going to let that fully dry, and I'm going to wash my brush out and look at the model one last time. I'm going to pop away this bad boy, because it'll cover back on. And we'll switch to brush mode. So, yeah, that's looking pretty good. I think that's all the red we need. So let's start looking at washes. So we're obviously going to want a big old Nuln Oil wash all over everything. And then I think after the Nuln Oil goes down, we're going to throw Seraphim Sepia on the chainmail to give it that burnished steel look. In fact, maybe we'll go neat like we won't put Nuln Oil on the chainmail. We might do it in that order. And we'll see. KS says, battle report at the end is 100% by the book. No weird stuff happens ever. Made Neo, one of my Patreons, says, Lockie's website mentions commissions, but he doesn't have a web page for them. Does he paint and sell on the side? I know he gives some away to Patreon. So no, I don't do any commissions anymore. I stopped all commissions just to focus on making videos. But the commissions was terrain, not minis. But yeah, I do, obviously, through these live streams, this model will be assigned to one of my Patreons as their official model in the campaign, and then when the campaign's over, it gets sent out to them, and they get to keep it. So that's the way that Lockie gives away stuff. Alright, so that looks pretty sweet and ready to wash. Let's start with Seraphim Sepia. I feel like it might have been James who was telling me on about, using Seraphim Sepia on silver. James, did I just make that up? I feel like it was you. Alright. So, Seraphim Sepia is going to go down first, so we're going to throw that straight down on the chainmail to get that burnished steel look. I reckon we'll end up darkening it with Nuln Oil, because I don't think it'll give us enough recessed detail and enough kind of dark steel tone, but it gets us in the right color space at least. Even if it's only subtle, I just want it to look different to the scale, which we will highlight differently as well, but it's our starting point. So Seraphim Sepia all over the chainmail. Seraphim. Ranger Kataberg says the 5% of the model is the stick up his ass. Indeed. You've ruined the mystery. Alright, Seraphim Sepia on all the chainmail. Don't forget the little parts that are like up under the shoulder pads and everything. Yeah, that's looking cool. That's looking really cool. So just so our colors don't run, I'm going to let that dry for just a sec. And I'm going to shut the Seraphim pot. Made Neo says, well, it's your fault, Lockie. I can't paint it all, but watch enough of your content, so I want to play it, and now I'm thinking of buying pre-painted. And call you Matt. Okay, great. I can remember that. Matty it is. Yeah, there's plenty of great commission painters out there. Message me in the Patreon Discord, or put a post up, and I'll send you a link to a bunch of painters, or at least it depends where you are, I guess, because I'm obviously Australia based. But I mean, minis are pretty cheap to post, but there'll probably be some in your area if you're not Aussie as well. That red looks pretty solid. Let's grab some Null Oil, and this is where the whole scheme just looks amazing out of nowhere. James says you made that up. Someone told me. I thought it was you. You were definitely on the chat where we first talked about it. I do believe you made that up. Alright, so Null Oil everywhere. All over the silver, all over the red. And this is where it all just pops and goes sexy and amazing. Bang, 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 bang. Don't worry about it getting in the wrong place. Doesn't matter. We just slather it. I'm also going to put it on the chainmail too to give that extra pop. Look at that. Straight over the chest. Let it get right down into the recesses. You'll think that the silver is like no longer reading, but it will read once the Null Oil dries. Just needs to be subtly underneath the red. Bam, and just like that, our red armor and our metal is basically finished. Oh, we need to do his sword as well, which I nearly forgot. We might do his helmet now too. Even though we haven't treated any of these areas yet, we're gonna Null Oil the helmet, because there's a lot of silver on that. It's eventually about to get hit with gold detail, which might be where we go next, because then we can say the metallics are finished. So get some Null Oil on the silver part of the sword. This plastic sword, it is probably a bit oversized, but it has amazing detail. Amazing detail. So there's lots for the Null Oil to do there. Oh, don't forget this arm. Alright, and then that wash is just everywhere, looking great. Wick away if there's any extreme pooling. But Null Oil doesn't usually pool that crazy like contrasts do. Alright, so metallics are well on the way. The reds are done. Let's think about our silvers. So, we're going to need to do some gold details, and we're going to need to highlight our steel scale mail and the sword and stuff. So, let's get some golds and silvers out. I'm going to close my Null Oil lids. See, I'm being good, guys. Oh yeah, no, it was Josh. Yeah, that's right. James, I'm giving you all Josh's credit. Yeah, it was one when we were painting the elves, I think. Mass Xenocide says, hi from England, first time catching a stream, hope everyone's doing well. James says it might have been Sean who mentioned it, it could have been Shawnee as well, it's highly likely. Sepia wash on the chain on plastic Amma 2, says KS, he enjoyed how it worked. Count Jeffrey says, I believe in you, Matt. The path of an excellent painter starts with a mediocre painter. 100%. 100%. Kenny says, this could be it. This could be his mistake. He hasn't knocked over a Null Oil and on stream yet, but we all know he loves to leave things open. Look, I'm being all over it today. I'm being really good. Yeah, Aaron says, yeah, it was on the L stream because then I did it on my own. So, yeah, someone gets the credit. I think it might have been Josh. Okay, so we need to think about our base tones for the next region. So we've got some, we need Retributor Armor. Where's Retributor Armor? White lid. White lid. I've got like 4 pots of it. All, and most of them are open. I want my unopened. Alright, so we need Retributor Armor for our gold detail. I'm going to grab the new silver from GW for my highlights, Canoptic Alloy. Because it's a little bit of a brassy silver, and I like that on Rohan, especially on Amma, and then we'll probably crisp it up with a little bit of Stormhost silver. What's the time? Alright, it's 9:05, and I haven't heard my girls wake up yet, so I'm just going to go and let Larissa know that it's 9, because she'll want to be up. I'll be back in just a second, guys, while we let that dry. 1 sec. Made the mistake of leaving the studio and realizing that it's amazingly cool outside and ridiculously gross in here. Alright, so that's dry. Well, close enough too. Everything dries pretty quick here in the gross, humid Australian heat. The bits that are important to us are dry, so let's begin with our sword and our helmet. Still a little bit wet. I can jump on the sword though. So I'm going to grab my Canoptic Alloy. It's a bit dark. We're going to give that a good shake. I want to leave the lead belcher in the recesses. This is like the classic layer. Just gonna grab a little bit out and throw it on the wet palette. Really not going to need very much. So I'm not edge highlighting like I am. I am going to try and hit most of the blade here. Leave that beautiful darkened lead belcher in the recesses. I'm trying to decide whether or not I hit the fuller. Gonna get a really, really thin line down the fuller as well. But I've left, so you can actually see, I don't know if it'll read on camera, but there is a distinction. There is three, like, you know, there is bright silver, dark lead belcher, bright silver line down the fuller, and then dark, and then bright silver. So there's like 5 layers on that blade. That's exactly what we want. Just making the detail read. So same thing. Starting with the big broad edge. Oh, I might be out of paint. I am. Hitting the broad edge and then just really gently using the side of the brush, grabbing the fuller. I'll take that silver all the way down into the hilt. Looking fantastic. Then I'm going to wash out my brush and I'm going to grab Stormhost Silver for an edge highlight beyond edge highlights. Now, I believe... Did I put an agitator in here? I did. But it likes to get stuck. My goodness, does this paint need to be well stirred. Alright, let's shake the crap out of Stormhost Silver. I can't hear my agitator bouncing around. The suction. There we go. It's moving now. Alright. What do I use for agitator, says RoboFrog. This is just a glass ball. Like a little mini marble. I can't remember how the hell I got it, to be honest. I need to buy a whole bunch more of them. Hopefully it should be pretty good. Urama says it's 11 PM for me, watching Zorpazorp before bed. It's the beginning of my day. It's just the fun thing about having people all over the world tuning in all sorts of different time zones. So we've got a nice bright silver now And what I'm going to do is I'm going to edge highlight over that brassy steel. So now I'm just picking out the very edge. The very edge of the blade. Just layering it over the canoptic alloy. And I don't know, I really like this recipe. It just gives steel something kind of cool. Like a bit of a brassy tone. You know what, I'm gonna even try and get the fuller a little bit. Not sure if that's reading. Let's try one more time. Yeah, paint's looking nice for once. Fight many battles with Stormhost Silver. When it works, it just looks so good, but getting it to work can be excruciating. So that was a fair bit of work on just a sword blade, but it really looks good. Really looks good. So, now that is basically done, basically dry, the helmet, I'm just going to go back, and we're basically going to do the same thing on the metal regions of the helmet. I'm going to grab a little bit of canoptic alloy. And we're going to do... Now, what is... Let me look at the model. Okay, so all of this is silver. So the helmet is purely silver and gold. There's no leather on it. So I'm going to do a pretty broad highlight. Still leaving some lead belcher in, like, some regions. So a pretty broad highlight with canoptic alloy. We've got down the back here as well. Good thing with this is you don't have to worry if you're like a bit sloppy, because the other raised details are going to be gold, right? So if you knock onto them, it's no big deal. Alright, so that's brightened that up nicely. Then I'll go back to Stormhost Silver. And I'm just going to do a couple of tiny little highlights. Little dots. Just to blend in and brighten up that steel. So that looks great. Let's switch to gold. Alright, Retributor armor time. A lovely gold. Alright, so what have we got gold detail wise? Well, we've got, obviously, let's stick with the helmet. So all of those other trimmed regions are gold, like these thinner bits. It's really nice painting gold over silver. That was one of the bits of advice that they gave us in issue 1 with the elves, was paint silver first and then put down your gold. It does work, it's just not super necessary with the nice new paints from GW, but back in those days, shining gold was pretty amazing paint actually. Now there's horsehair running down the middle. But it looks like it finishes in an ornate... Oh, actually, I think it's styled as horsehair, but it's actually made from steel, so it's gold. Now we're going to get a different look again on this metal, because we're going to wash the entire helmet now with Agrax Earthshade. And I'm not going to try and like differentiate the gold and the silver. I'm going to let the silver get washed with Agrax. So it's going to look like an even different style of burnished silver. It's been so long since I painted an Amma. This is awesome. And then the gold that runs down there. Alright, that's all the gold down there. Looks amazing as it starts to dry. Let's jump into the gold on the handle. There's beautiful gold pommel detail. Ridiculous amount of it on this overscaled sword. Scale creep is real. But it just makes his sword look all the more impressive in scale with the rest of the model. Works for us here on a hero. Is it Herobrand? Is that the name of his sword? Can't remember. Alright, getting that gold down all over the hilt. Alright, where else is gold? There's not much on Amma. There's a buckle on his central belt. He's very much a silver boy. Very much a silver boy. There's gold there. And I believe this is gold as well. And I can't see it in my reference photos, but we're going to do it gold today. Just on his scabbard. Oh, and then of course apparently his saddle is gold, which I always thought looked a little ridiculous. But we'll run with it. Might just do this part rather, and we'll leave the other to be leather. Left a little bit of steel in the recesses there. Some of that Nuln oil is still wet in those recesses. Alright, now, how do we feel about the rest of the metal? The scale mail is dry now. So I can whiz back to that and give that a quick highlight. I'm going to be edge highlighting each individual scale with a little bit of canoptic alloy. It sounds painful, it's actually not. You can do it quite quickly by just dragging down the scale, using the flat side of the brush. Half of painting is knowing what part of the brush to hit the model, depending on what you're doing in terms of getting speed and accuracy. There we go. So that's just brightened up that burnished steel a whole lot. I'm trying to emphasize that difference between the... Sorry, not burnished steel, the scale mail. The burnished plate and the scale. Yeah, it's just not reading as burnished enough. We'll have to wait and see. So let's get some agrax down. Let's get our extra wash down. Because I think getting these reds and metallics finished, that's the bulk of the model done. Then we've got hair, face, and then leather. And we're done. So I'm going to grab out Agrax Earthshade now. Alright, that's one empty pot. I'm not out of Agrax, am I? That'd be a disaster. No, we're good. Oh, Jazzy Payne has joined us. Good morning, Jazz. Oh, someone went to bed. Handsome Patter. Have a good night, dude. Alright, switching into Agrax Earthshade. Agrax is going down over all of our gold. We'll start up here at the helmet. So I'm doing the entire helmet in Agrax Earthshade to just put a little tint on the silver as well and help create more visual distinction on all our different metallics. Keep the model reading really nicely. And then of course we want Agrax Earthshade on the beautiful gold pommel. The thing I find about Agrax, when you're putting it down on the gold, it never looks like it's going down, and then it dries and you're like, whoa, that looks completely different. So don't be alarmed if it looks like the Agrax isn't doing a bunch. It will once it dries. Gold on the pommel, gold on the detail, a little bit of gold on the buckle, and of course the saddle details, which is all the beautiful ornate embossings where the wash is really going to shine. Oh, that looks so good. God, I love Agrax. Now we're starting to get a really cool looking model. Let's try something again with that chainmail. I'm thinking maybe Agrax. I want it to look different. So let's keep trying. Let's just go another layer of Seraphim. Why am I putting down a wash with my fine detail brush? Back to the washing brush, please. Seraphim Sepia. And we just make sure we're applying it nice and controlled. We don't want this spilling onto the plate mail. which we just worked so hard to get all that beautiful highlights on. These chainmail on the forearms really didn't get a lot of colour out of the first coat. Sorry, I think I was a bit off camera for a sec there, guys. I'm putting on quite a thick coat here. Heavy wash. Alright, let's see how that dries. Because it looked really dark before and then it dried and it went pretty light. Okay, so that's got a little bit of drying time left. I'll give you guys a nice big close-up there. What do we think, guys? So far. It's looking alright. Pretty happy with the sword. Really happy with the gold. I think the metallics are working. The silver, I'll tell you what needs a highlight is that silver chest plate. But can you see how, like, it's just, all the metal is underneath the red? It's really subtle, but you can see it there. It looks like red armor, but when you get up close, there's a lot of beautiful silver details. So I'm gonna highlight the that circle in the middle, just to make that pop. And I'm doing a top-down highlight here, where I make the top half a little brighter. On the back, anyway. I didn't do it on the front because there's a strap half covering it. So see, I just put that highlight down. So I left the top of the half circle dark because it would have a shadow from the strap. Whereas on the back, I made the top part of the circle the brightest point because it's fully out in the sun. Okay, looking. What else needs to happen to this armor? I think the metallics are finished. So let's move on to the next layer that needs the most cleanup, which is some browns. And we're just going to do my classic Rohan dark leather scheme, which is a bit of charred brown, and then we'll give it a quick layer highlight with dark flesh tone. It's not a big focus here, so we don't need to do like heaps of crazy blended highlights or edge highlights or anything. This is just to like block it. Basically, what I'm painting here is what I want the eye not to see. Dark brown, it's pushing it back. Oop, that dark flesh tone needs a huge shake. Shoes as well, I guess. I think the pouch is black, so we might just black Templar that. Alright, let's grab a little bit of this brown. What do I want first? I want charred brown. So let's get this all over the shoes. So just for speed, I'm once again just going to wet blend all of this. Oh, it's not in shot, sorry guys. So get that dark brown over all of the cloth behind the legs. Probably have to do 2 coats because I'm going over this silver prime. So this first, oh damn it, went straight to dark flesh tone. Wrong paint off the palette there, but that's okay. I want to pick a little bit of the strapping as well. The saddle restrapping, because I am leaving that that brown. So yeah, this back of the saddle as well needs the dark brown. The front of the saddle. There's a little bit of saddle strapping there. And then it's just cloth. And we can basically see very little of it on the left arm. And then we can see a fair bit of it on this arm. So we want brown cloth. Usually, of course, I do red cloth on all my Rohan. But we've got so much red on this model already. We're opting to make this go brown. Will say the cloth detail is amazing on the new Amma. Alright, grab a little bit of dark flesh tone. I'm just going to wet blend into the charred brown. Highlight those raised cloth regions. I'm going to highlight the shoes. Highlight the cloth on the back of the legs. Highlight the saddle straps. Right. With the brown down, all we have left is hair, face, and pouch. Oh, the scabbard needs to be brown too, actually. I will give these a wash in Null Oil too, just because they're a little bright at the moment. Because they're going over a brighter base coat. And they're not really sort of gross, opaque paints. They're quite nice, thin paints. Just a little highlight there. Dark flesh tone. Alright, so the next big pieces are skin and hair. And I have just realized, of course, the gloves are brown on Amma. So we need to grab some dark flesh tone and hit these gloves. The only skin on the model is his face. So I think what I'll do with these is I might actually wash them. Oh, I'll do the handle of the sword as well. I might actually wash them in Basilicanum Grey, which is like the grey contrast, which I sort of use as like my heavy Null Oil. So anytime I want something to be like darkly washed and I would normally have reached for Null Oil, now I reach for Basilicanum Grey. It's quite a good little paint. Alright, back to dark flesh tone. We're just going to pick out all the fingers on the gloves. Insane amount of detail there. Alright, so that's the gloves done. Cool, cool, cool. Lovely. So that'll get a wash. Let's do the pouch. Pouch, hair, skin, finished. Pouched hair, skin, battle report. I'm going to grab Black Templar for that pouch. Even though it's over a steely base coat. I don't think we'll see because it's so small. Oh, there's Basilicanum Grey. I'll get that out for the wash on the leather. And there's Black Templar. Oh, don't do that. Oh, whoops. I have my chat paused. Alright. People are accidentally getting their paint water and their milk confused. Kevin says it's the most exciting music ever, so tense. Yeah, it's just like my generic battle report mix, or my old generic battle report mix, actually. Alright, a little bit of Black Templar. Going down on this pouch. Don't know what Aim is keeping in this pouch. What do you reckon he's got in this pouch, guys? Beautiful. Little leather pouch. Skin and face. Look at Carl Urban, so young. So we'll do skin first. This could be a painful one over metal. I haven't actually had to paint a model primed in lead belcher before and do skin. So I'm going to grab just my standard mix. Let's grab some. We'll put down a base tone first of Kislev Flesh. Which could be easier said than done. Let's have a look. So the bits of flesh that we can see on the face, very minimal actually. One thing I don't want to do is get anything on my beloved helmet, which is looking so nice. Just a little bit of Kislev flesh in there. I'll put down a second layer. Build up the opacity. Okay, that looks about right for skin tone. Don't think I can see any silver coming through. Nice. Alright, we'll let that dry. And in the meantime, we'll work on the beard. So we want, well, look. We always exaggerate these Rohan beards, don't we? I'll start with yellow, but it's obviously ridiculous. No, I'll mix something up. Let's throw yellow in the wet palette. And then a little bit of bone. And then I'm just gonna mix that together to make like a little blonde color. That's a bit better. It's more of like a beigey yellow. We'll start with the horsehair first. So let's just get this down all over the horsehair, which may take a couple of coats because of how thin this paint is. Sorry, I think I'm doing it again, painting off camera. You can still see that there's that like golden yellow through the bone. But we'll... it's okay, it's actually not going too bad. I want to get this on the beard as well. And the moustache. Alright, looking solid, looking solid. I'll chuck another layer on the hair at the back just to get that really nice and opaque. Also actually looks pretty good for a base coat. Alright, that skin is dried, so we'll throw on probably just another coat of Kislev. I really want to get that nice and opaque. Oh, that's not Kislev, that's bone white. Haven't got Kislev on the palette. Let's get another coat on there, I think, before we put down our skin wash. Very nice indeed. I'm just going to reapply to the lips, which got a little lost in the beard, but that's fine. Cool, that skin tone's looking good. Let's mix up our highlight for the beard. I don't really need to, because it's probably just going to be straight bone white, which I have here on the palette with a little yellow in it. And I'm just going to apply that pretty liberally. Oh, I need more bone white on the palette. I think I started doing that with Kislev, actually. So I'm applying this like as like a heavy layer, so I'm getting most of it with good coverage. But then every now and then a little bit of that golden yellow will be like in the roots. And then we just want a little bit of this bone white. Same thing, we just want to gently apply that to the beard and stuff. Just to give us that blonde hair. Cool, so those will need a wash. How's the skin looking? Skin's dry, so I'm going to grab Reikland Flesh Shade for my flesh wash. Too many washes in this box. Chthonian Camo Shade, Agrax Earth Shade, Skeleton Horde, Reikland Flesh Shade. There we go. This guy needs a good shake. Good shake. Attila says, what do you think about the Lego version of Amma? I don't think I've actually seen it, to be honest. I don't have any of the Lord of the Rings Lego. Alright, Agrax Earthshade going in on Amma's face. And a little bit on the lips. We don't want to apply too much, so I'm just gonna... I've dabbed down onto my paper towel. And then I'm just wicking away the excess. Because we're trying to tone that skin, but we're not trying to soak it. Oh, Agrax Earthshade's still open. Not Agrax, Reichland, I mean. Alright, speaking of Agrax, let's grab some Agrax for our hair. Once again, for some reason I'm trying to apply a shade with my layer brush. Let's get a nice coat of Agrax. That's a lot. That's a lot of Agrax. I don't need that much. Down all over this hair. Just to give that some definition. Nice, 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 and then just a little bit on the moustache. Boom! Boom, boom, boom. I think aim is finished. Let me just quickly look and make sure we haven't got any crazy omissions. The pouch is black, that doesn't need a highlight, looks great. I think... Oh no, we need washes on the leather. Interestingly enough, it's actually gone quite dark as it's dried. So I think I'm just going to use Nuln Oil. I'm not going to use Seraphim. I was going to use Basilicanum. I'm not going to use Basilicanum. Just going to go heavy Nuln Oil. You know, the most thing that matters is these gloves. Because we really want them to just have that little bit more pop and definition in them. So that's all the gloves are doing there. Might put a little bit of Nuln Oil just on this back cloth. I think the burnished steel has worked a treat. The Agraxed helmet looks really cool. I have done something actually. I have left out Amma's hair. I've done the horse hair and not Amma's. But that's an easy fix. So to make them different, I'll leave Amma's a bit more golden. How'd I do that? Crikey. I was like, what's this entire section of weird wiggly silver? That would be his hair. So that'll get a wash in Agrax, and then I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll grab a little bit more bone white, and I'll just do another highlight on the horsehair to make that even whiter, just to create like some subtle tonal differences, so that his hair and the bone white don't look exactly the same, and the horsehair, sorry, don't look exactly the same. All right, so as soon as his hair is dry, it's going to get Agrax, and then I think we're done. So the other thing, of course, we need is his horse. So now we're just going to quickly paint his horse. No, just kidding. Here's one I prepared earlier. Oh, alright, let me go to the cabinet. Got a whole bunch of horses to choose from. Where'd they go? Here they are. That's a nice horse. Let's go. Maybe this one. I think that might be too... Yeah, I'm going to pull Amma off his little plinth now. There's a bit of damage on that from it being a Royal Guard. So these are my old Royal Guard horses. This one looks pretty sweet. Can someone in the chat look up what colour Amma's horse is? I think it's grey, isn't it? It is, it's grey. Oh look, there's a picture of it right here. So yeah, it's a grey horse. Got any grey ones? To hand at least. I have this grey one that we painted on the live stream the other day, or less recently. So that is, which is this one here. So that would work. The only thing is I haven't done any of the leather or anything. So that's a possibility. But I don't know. There's something... I actually don't like him on a grey horse. I haven't painted my Amma as a grey horse either. I think he looks quite good on a brown horse. I think we want a lighter brown than that to kind of set off his armor. So I think we want to go for one of these two browns that we've got here. This is like... they're both sandier browns. Too much build up on here from the Royal Guard who was on here before. This Royal Guardsman has given up his horse for Amma. These are all the plastic horses from my normal Pelennor set. Yeah, I think we'll go with this guy. I think that looks pretty sweet. So, we'll have to, I'll off camera, I'll repair this horse paint job a little bit, because there's obviously some damage from where I've dismounted my Royal Guard. But I think that is a pretty sweet looking horse for Amma. I think that colour works nicely. And I think, whoops, and I think, you know, obviously that's the good pose to go with him. Yeah, I think that's the way to go to. So let's grab a little bit of, I don't even need to. He's just wedging there nicely. So the last thing we wanted to do, now that we've sorted that, is throw down some Agrax Earthshade on his hair. And then he is finished. So while I was painting, guys, what did you guys get? What did you guys get done during painting time? Let me know if you've got anything complete or how your progress is going. Give me a little update. Kiaran Voice says, is Amma's horse not a new sculpt? So I'm not painting the new Amma. I'm painting... We're in retro land here on the Battle Games Middle-earth livestream. This is a conversion of the old Amma that uses the sword arm from the new Amma, but we are painting the old Amma. Which is this model here. So this is our Amma. Come on, get in focus. What a beast. What a beast. He has turned out pretty well. He needs a matte varnish and the horse needs a clean up. But he's looking pretty fantastic for an hour's work on the stream. Make that an hour and 40 minutes. Alright, so that means it is absolutely time for the battle report, boys and girls, and we have got a cracker today. In case you guys have just joined us, we have just painted up Amma, and we are now going to be playing Wrath of Rohan. This is one of the most famous and well-played battle reports. It is the Riders of Rohan ambushing the Uruk-hai on the borders of Fangorn and Merry and Pippin trying to escape. And it has featured in no less than 9 Games Workshop publications over the years. So what I'm going to do is quickly throw these paints away, throw out my battle mat, whack down the terrain and the forces, and we will get ready for an absolutely awesome battle report to kick off the 2021 Battle Games in Middle-earth Battle Reports. And then at the end of that, we will be giving away the Amma that we just painted and assigning him to one of our Patreons to become his official sponsor. And then after his campaign journey is complete, that Patreon will get to keep this Amma forever as a memory of the incredible campaign that was. Alright, so I'll see you guys in 5 minutes once I've swung this terrain around. Back in a sec. Alrighty, we are back. Sorry dudes, that was a little bit of a longer delay than I intended. This scenario is massive! Absolutely massive. Let me know if you guys can hear me all nicely, because I've moved my camera setup obviously. So, we have the Wrath of Rohan. This scenario is a beast! An absolute beast. So, in the middle here, we have the wonderful squad of Uruk-hai belonging to Mr. Damien O'Byrne, one of our Patreons, led by their indomitable leader, Goldie. We've also got Grishnak and Ugluk in there, and 8 Mordor orcs. Then up here on the top flank and the southern flank, we have got the 12 warriors of Rohan belonging to Mr. James Carver, led by the amazing contribution from Mr. Jeremy Hunthor from the Green Dragon, with the wonderful Rohan Hornblower, who's got all sorts of special rules, and his counterpart, also by Jeremy, is here, the Uruk-hai Scout Hornblower as well. So we got all our favourite characters, and then we have the new boys. We have our Riders of Rohan and Amma right over here on the flank. Going to be pretty exciting. Now this scenario is a bit messy in terms of rules. It was a little bit of a clunky setup initially, so we'll go through it. Merry and Pippin are also here in the middle. So let's read through this together before we start rolling any dice. Alright, so it's a 4x4 board. We've got all our deployment positions, and the aim of the game is the evil side wins immediately if they can get either Merry or Pippin off the board on the Fangorn Forest side under guard. Any Uruk-hai or Orc casualties sustained are not important, all that matters is getting the prisoners. So, Evil wants to get Merry and Pippin off the board on the Fangorn side, so going that way towards Fangorn Forest. If both hobbits are slain before they reach Fangorn, the Evil side loses. The Evil side must keep... Wow, that's crazy. Doesn't that mean the good can, like, try and get them killed? We'll see how that goes. And the good side wins if both Merry and Pippin are freed and manage to reach the safety of Fangorn Forest by moving off the board on their own without their guards. The good side also wins if it destroys all orcs and Uruk-hai before they get it off. Okay, so good side wants to kill everyone, or Merry and Pippin get off that board edge on their own, and Merry and Pippin getting taken off captured is also bad. So they're kind of, both sides are going for the same board edge. Let's have a look at the way the hobbits work. At the start of the game, the evil player is in control of the hobbits, and they must assign one orc or Uruk-hai to guard each hobbit. We can use the card figures of Merry and Pippin. We don't have to do that, because I have got models for them. While an evil model is guarding a hobbit prisoner, it can only move at half speed. Hobbit prisoners have no control zone. If a guard is engaged in combat, the hobbit is moved aside for convenience to allow the Rohirrim to attack. The following rules apply to hobbit prisoners. Hobbits cannot attack while they are prisoners. Evil models are not allowed to attack a hobbit while they are imprisoned, and good models can never attack them. A hobbit cannot be passed from one guard to another. It stays with its original guard until one of them is killed. So you can't give them to Grishnak or Ugluk until they have to pick them up. A hobbit is automatically freed if the guard is killed. Once free, it may move and fight following the usual rules. However, the evil player may attempt to recapture the hobbit. If a free hobbit is defeated in combat and there are no other good models involved in the same fight, then the hobbit is captured. The evil model strikes no blows but becomes the guard. As the Rohirrim aren't aware, they can actually shoot at Merry and Pippin, like as in the way, and Merry and Pippin have no war gear and count as unarmed. Which means that they will be rolling at -1 for fighting. So I think that is everything we need to do. As always, this is an old school scenario, so good will have priority. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the live stream chat, I need some captains. I need some volunteers. Who wants to be in charge of Amma and the Horsey Boys? Who wants to be on Team Rohan Infantry? And who wants to get behind the forces of the Uruk-hai and the Orcs? Let me know. I'm going to be getting you guys to scream out tactics in the chat. I've got it on low latency, so I should be able to hear you pretty easily. Let's get into the first turn. Get a bit of dice out. We got the Isengard dice. We got the Rohan dice. We are all set to go. Priority of force goes to the good side, so the good boys are just going to be absolutely hooning forward. We're not going to get in charge range. We're not going to shoot. The good models, the cavalry is so important, being able to get up and around and behind the Uruk-hai forces here. And the Uruks and the Orcs, they're just going to try and buy time occupying these cavalry and getting in. So we'll see how we go. I don't know how much shooting we're going to do. I guess what we could do is try and target put some priority shots on the models who are defending them. So the first question for Evil is, do you want Orc guards to be defending Merry and Pippin, or do you want Uruk-hai guards to be defending Merry and Pippin? Because, you know, do you want your Uruks for fighting, or do you want your Uruks for escorting over the sides? So, what we're going to do here, I think, with Evil, is we're going to have to set up some sort of blocking mechanism that these cav have got to get through. And of course, we've got these infantry coming over here. So let's start setting up some walls. I'll grab my 6-inch movement tool, and we'll start getting these guys ready to take the fight to the Rohirrim. We're going to have to try and use some of the choke points through this terrain to try and buy us a bit of time, buy some tempo against the Uruk forces. Yeah, geez, there's a lot of Rohan coming at these guys. Let me get my chat back open. Let's see what you guys want to do. So, Rohan infantry, Ugluk should seek out things to eat, says KS. Jazzy Payne says he wants the orcs. Charge ahead quickly. Team Cavalry for Mr. Play Beautiful. Team Amma, says Renga. But we're gonna have lots of people on the same team, so that's fine. All right, so we want to send orc escorts. So let's go. Let's send orcs this way. We'll keep the spearmen. We'll use a swordsman and this little two-handed guy. So they're going to be the escorts, and they're just going to start half moving towards the board edge with Merry and Pippin. There's Pippin, and then there's his little buddy there. I think we send Grishnak with them, because obviously Grishnak's got the little goals of his own. So it's like Grishnak and his orc boys are trying to make an escape. Let's get some of these pikemen over here. We'll chuck a couple of Uruks this side. We'll put Grant Look and Sattler Look over here. And then we got to start getting these boys out. So it's all about winning this heroic move off and stopping the charge. So Ugluk's going to go hard, 6 inches, straight at the front, with the Uruk captain, with Tauriel Luck. We're going to get some pikes in here as well. Goldie, my man, is going to stop the cav flank from this side. And then he probably needs a bit of support. We don't want him completely out on his own. He is a beast, but if we lose him, it's going to be a big blow. Obviously, he does respawn on Goldie's hill. And then we're going to need some filth to deal with these Rohan boys. But I think we just let them come and push this way. Mr. Beetle says, make them turtle, phalanx formation, and put the hobbits in the middle. It's definitely an option. But I think up early, we're just going to try and get some board control. And then we need to keep a few dudes for escort. So let's keep these Uruks here yeah, we'll do a bit of both. We'll keep the phalanx formation with Grishnak, and we'll send the squads up front. Okay, this should be good. This should be good. These guys can fall back. They can fall back with them, and hopefully they can sort of die slow. Alright, oh, good also should have moved the infantry. All the bowmen are staying stationary for snipes, and these guys would have moved up full, which should have happened first, but that's fine. And we need full moves from everyone over here, and then this bowman is just going to move all the way up there to get a snipe for next turn. Oh, we have a tree down. The forest is waking up. Alright, so it's shooting phase. We've got no shots over this side for the good player, but we've got some shots here. We've got 2 throwing spears. No, just 1 throwing spear on this side. He is going to hurl straight into... we'll go into the Orcish shield, and we need... there was no movement penalty, was there? So we were hitting on 4s. Do the... I'm trying to remember. This is old school rules here. Do throwing spears... do they only have 1 throwing spear all game at the moment? Because the throwing spears are free. I'm pretty sure that's how throwing spears worked back now. Let's just check if there's any information. Here we go. Optional... I don't think it's in this magazine. I think it's the other one. So I think each throwing spear only gets to be thrown once. But it has no movement penalty. So we're looking for a big 4. Oh, he hits! And he'll need a 5 to wound. No way, no wound. Alright, that throwing spear is gone. And then we've got 3 bows. They're going to shoot all at the Uruk holding Merry. There's going to be some in the ways though. So, first up, we've got only 1 gets through. It's the one in the middle, so he'll be shooting through 2 orcs. Does he get through the first one? Yes. The second one? No. So he's hitting the spearman. And he kills him! First blood! Orc spearman down. Well, that's not the worst outcome in the world. We've got all the throwing spears here. There's 3. Let's throw 3 throwing spears straight into Ugluk. Hitting on 4s. And every single one of them misses. So all the cav are out of throwing spears. let's jump into priority for turn number 2. This is a big turn. It goes to good. Ugluk has obviously got to call a heroic move, and so does Amma. So we've got a big heroic move roll-off happening here. Let's see who it goes to. Oh, it goes to evil. That's massive. Okay, so Ugluk and his boys, all 6 of them, are just going to be jumping on all of these cav. We're going to pike up. We're gonna chuck a couple, send one poor dude to fight 2 and shield, and then rank up with as much as we can, and then Goldie's on his own against Amma. That is absolutely savage. Amma's heroic move is now negated, but now the forces of good will get to move over here. So, this Warrior of Rohan is going to run around and tap both of these orcs. We're going to get 1-on-1s here, and we're going to try and kill these orcs. My archers are all going to half move, so they can keep shooting at the guys retreating, and then these guys are going to be so key. They're gonna make a break, probably for this board edge, I think. All right, if they get charged, they get charged. Now we'll send 2 guys that way and 3 guys there. Okay, Grishnak and the lads. They've got some work to do here. So it's gonna be 3 inches for Merry and 3 inches for Pippin. Jeez, they're getting close to that board edge already. I think they were meant to deploy there, actually. Yes, Merry and Pippin were meant to be up the front. That's why they're so close to the board edge, and I had them at the back. So we'll actually just pull them back to the center, and then we'll be fine. Let's go. Let's just mop up. We're going to jump in. The Urks have really had a big turn here. They've been able to kind of set up some fights to try and get some really big kills. And Grishnak's just going to stay for the time being, protecting the hobbits. Okay, there's a shooting phase, but it's not going to do a great deal. Let's drop all 3 of these archers. They're actually... yes, they will get to shoot it at the orc, but the 2 of them will be going through the tree. So 4's to hit. Man, the Rohan shooting. Luckily, it's one of the guys who doesn't have it in the way, and he fails to wound. We've got 1 bowman up the back here who's going to shoot into Pippin's orc. He hits! He fails to wound! No, Merry has not been dropped. These archers are going to be key for Rohan, I think. Alright, it is combat time. Let's jump into the chat, boys and girls. Already cheating, I says. Yeah. All Urks should target the horses. That's a great suggestion, KS. For the bad guys, put the hobbit against a tree and put the guards in a phalanx around him too. So remember, they've got to get off the board. I think, we've got Grishnak there to grab one. At the moment, it's worth sort of trying to tie these guys up. But yeah, I mean, the Urks have spread themselves thin. The Rohan infantry are up the back here. Slaughter the horses, slaughter... okay, you guys are wanting to target the horses. Let's start with Goldie versus Amma. Amma didn't get to charge, so he's just on 2 attacks. And of course, as we know, Goldie is on 2 attacks. Let's see who gets the upper hand. Oh, they've both rolled big 6s. And of course, they are on tied fight value, because Goldie is fight 5. This is big. This is really big. We do not need to lose Amma on turn 1. It goes to Amma. Alright, he's got 2 strikes at strength 4. He will need 5s to wound. And he puts a wound on Goldie. Goldie's down to 1 wound. That's a great start for Rohan. Alright, here we've got 2 Rohan have been charged by our single Urukai, carrying a with the wonderful horn of Boromir painted up by Jeremy from the Green Dragon. So he's going to blow the horn at the start of the turn, and the Rohan warrior will have to take a courage check at courage 3. Oh, they've failed! He automatically wins the fight, and he's got 2 attacks. He's going to put a strike on each horse, needing 4s, and he kills 1 horse. But the warrior survives to tell another story. Have absolutely no dismounts ready, so it's going to be Harmer who's our dismount. So we've lost a horse so far. Here we've got 3 Urukai on 1 rider of Rohan with Ugluk. We'll do the normal Uruks first. Oh, the warrior of Rohan's he's rolled a 6. He's won! He's won! So Ugluk's on a 5, and this guy's won rolled a 6. Ugluk's only got 2 points of might left. I think he's going to need his might for heroic moves, so I think he's not going to force the win. Goldie does have Lord of the East, except they both rolled 6s, so that wouldn't have helped him, KS. Do we spend Ugluk's Point of Might, KS and everyone who's on Team Urukai? I'll let you guys decide that while we do the next fight. We've got another 1-on-3 here. This is a tough draw for the Rohan. The Uruk's getting that heroic move is going to be massive. Oh, not if they roll like that! The Urukai have rolled 1, 1, and 2, and the Rohan warrior has rolled a 3. One Rohan knight. He fails to wound, though. Pushes them back. And then we've got Tauriel Luck, who is going to shield, fighting 2 riders of Rohan. And it's a tie, and it goes to Tauriel Luck on fight value. So she successfully shields and pushes back. So we only lost 1 horse in the end, and you guys are saying, use the might, no might, use the might. Alright, so Ugluk spends his point of might to win the fight, and he is going for wounds. We'll put the 2 warriors on the horse. The horse is killed, and then we'll put Ugluk on the rider, needing 6s. Oh, I needed 5s, but it doesn't matter. He's been eviscerated. Ugluk doing the work. So, the Urukai spent 2 points of might on this flank. They killed a horse, a rider. That's probably much better than the Rohan player could have hoped for. Let's check on the side flanks now. Over here, we've got the Rohan captain with his horn of Boromir. The orcs will have to take a courage test, which they pass. So, 2 attacks each. Fight value with the Rohan captain, and he has lost it. He has lost it on a 6. They need 5s to wound, and they get a wound on him as well. That's a shocking outcome for Rohan. 1-on-1 here with Grantlook, sorry, goes to Rohan. He is not trapped, and he's not wounded. Should have done that fight first, considering I have priority. Another 1-on-1 with a pikeman. Yes? Ah, thank you. And welcome to the Zorpazorp podcast, where you're all just listening to audio. I knew I forgot to do something. Alright, there we go. That should be back. Anytime now. Why is that not working? There we go. Success. Hello, monkey. Alright, we have vision again. Sorry, guys. Effing chats. So, you heard the audio, but what you missed was this guy got a wound, and we have no resolution on this combat, no wounds dealt, so it's 1-on-1, and we've got the Satluk versus a Rohan warrior with shields, and the Rohan warrior takes it on a big 6, and he needs another big 6 to wound him. Actually, it'll be 5s, because he's got no shield. Doesn't matter. So, no losses on that flank, no deaths yet. We've got another big setup over here. 3 orcs fighting 1 warrior of Rohan, and you better believe he's going to shield. He is absolutely going to shield. But the orcs get a 6. He only gets 4. And they fail to wound, only getting 3 high. Whew, Rohan have lucked out here. We've got M-Luck. M-Luck is going to be shielding. Fighting against 2 warriors of Rohan, and she does the business for Mr. Damien O'Byrne and pushes them back. So the Urukai's the evil only lost an orc, and the Rohan lost a rider and a horse, and then wounds on a hero for each. That could have been a lot better for the Urukai, to be honest. Let's jump into priority. And it goes to the Urukai. Well, I think Amma has got to call a heroic move here once again, which means that Ugluk will use his last point of might, and we'll go to a roll-off. So, let's see who gets it this time. And it goes to evil again. Amma losing it both times, and we will just match up the exact same outcome here. But the numbers are in favor of, severely in favor of the Urukai now. That is not good. Not good. Move the hobbits towards your phone. Straight next to the battle. The escape is near. So, hobbits are going to go this way. It's evil's move too, because they've won priority. So what we can do is tag this captain. Tag this guy. See, the easiest way to deal with these guys is to just get kills. And just limit the amount of models there are. So we're going to go 3 inches with Merry and Pippin. And 3 inches that way. They're exposing themselves to shooting, but they're just going to run, I think. They've just got to run. Grishnak's going to put himself in front of Pippin. and these guys can just mop up. Just hold them up. No one's getting through. That's all they've got to do. Alright, the good side can move with some units, and look, I mean, shooting... I think we'll go one more turn of shots, half moving with those guys. This bowman's going to half move so he can get a shot. He can actually get line of sight on that orc. So we're going to the shooting phase. Let's start with that bowman over there, into that orc. He misses, and my 3 archers here. Come on, guys, we got a free Pippin here. We're putting all the eggs in the shooting basket. 2 hits, a single 5, and Pippin is free. No, 2 4s. Oh, come on, Rohan. Knock those arrows. Must be hard to see in the night light. All right, so it is another big combat. Alright guys, what are we doing here? The only choice for good is whether... Oh, actually, everyone's out of might points now. Because Amma only has 2 with this old... Oh no, he's got 3 might. So Amma could call a heroic combat, but he's not on the charge. It's pretty unlikely. I think we're just fighting as normal. So let's leave this horse flank to the end, because it's looking a little scary. Let's put my glasses back on. Where'd my glasses go? Oh, they're gone. Let's go... Oh, they're right in front of me. God, I'm blind. Hey, I don't have my glasses on. Let's start over here. Let's go to the Rohan captain. Start us off with a horn blast. Brrr. Oh no, he's not outnumbered, so he can't get to use his special rule. The orc will shield. The captain will not. Oh, the orc gets it on a 5. These captains obviously have no might, so... he doesn't wound him though, thank goodness. Alright, 1-on-1 between Satluk and the Rohan shieldman. It goes to Rohan, come on, you've won it twice in a row. Fails to wound. Come on, Rohan, get some kills. You can't tell I'm biased at all. Oh, look at this guy! The little axe-wielding dude. He rolls a big 6 and the Uruk-hai and Orc roll a big 1. Let's go on the Orc. Doesn't kill him. But no losses there, so that's not the worst. We've got 1-on-1s all the way over here, up the far, and actually that's a 2-on-1. Oh, it's tied, and the bloody Uruk gets it on fight value. And then he kills one, just to make matters worse. Down goes another warrior of Rohan. We've got a 1-on-1 with an Orc there. It goes to the Rohan, and the Rohan failed to wound. Another 1-on-1 with an Uruk this time. Goes to Rohan. Rohan failed to wound. And another 1-on-1 goes to Rohan. And Rohan failed to wound. Not taking advantage of winning these fights here, guys. And now it's only going to go from bad to worse. Alright, having a bite of the banana before this combat. Alright, let's start with Goldie and Amma. Remembering that Goldie has Lord of the East, so he can re-roll 1 dice. Oh, he's going to need to as well. Amma's come on strong with a 5. And Goldie has failed to Lord of the East up. Amma is looking for a single 5 on 2 dice to kill Goldie. Oh, he's rolled 4s. Do we do it? Team Rohan, you got to decide. Amma's last point of might to kill Goldie, or do we save the might for next turn's heroic move, knowing that Ugluk is out of might, and we could save the might and guarantee ourselves a first move if we lose priority. Let's jump into the Uruk-hai captain with horn. Courage check for the Rohan, and they pass this time. So that is, we have to fight that fight normally. And it's a tie, and the Uruk wins it on fight value, pushing them back. 1 attack into the horse. Horse is dead. 1 attack into the rider. Fails to wound. So another horse gone. We'll do Throne Rider. He rolls a big 6. He's fine. Alright, 3 Uruk-hai and Ugluk. I'm going to get a second set of dice here. Ugluk can be on the... we'll go for... For some reason, Ugluk's on the Gandalf dice. And he gets a big 6, winning the fight on fight value. We'll just go all into the man, and he is killed a whole bunch of times over. Goldie does not have Fate, KS. He is simply a 2-attack hero with Fight 5 and Lord of the East. If you kill Goldie, he will reappear on his hilltop. Yeah, which when you think about it, is actually probably... I'm not sure this matters anymore. Like, the orcs are going to kill these guys, and... So yeah, maybe it's not a good idea to kill Goldie. I don't know. I'll let you Rohan players decide. If Goldie dies, he respawns over there. But only once. Alright, 3 Uruk-hai finding a single rider. The rider doesn't get it. So close, though. Just straight on the man. Oh, he survives. And then a one-on-one. If Rohan can win this... Oh, they can. Come on, kill someone. Kill someone. Oh, my goodness, Rohan. They do not know how to wound. Alright, there are 5 models left on this side of the board, including Amma. Again, it could have been worse for Rohan. They did probably get a little lucky there. Let's do prior... Oh, we have to decide. Rohan players. Are you moving? Are you spending the might? Are we killing Goldie? Are we killing Goldie, or are we saving the might for the heroic move? If we keep the might, we can guarantee moving first. And we might be able to get some of our cavalry away. Alright, we are not spending the might. Save the might. Roger that. Alright, let's do priority. The even better result for Rohan will be a win here. Yeah, look at that. Rohan get it, and they don't even need to spend Amma's might. So, Ugluk is out. I think these Cav just need to ride away. We need to play the objective game with these guys. They're disappearing out of here. So, 8 inches and 2 inches. There we go. The outer charge range. I think this Valiant Swordsman is going to charge Ugluk to tie him up so that he can't run off. And this Valiant Swordsman is going to do the same thing probably to Goldie. Running in, wrapping and hitting around. Allowing Amma to go 8 inches, 2 inches. Over here, we're going to just tie all of these guys up to make sure that Amma can't get charged. Oh, no, I'm not! I've got a charge on the Uruk-hai! The captain makes a run. Actually, I didn't think about that. Seeing as that doesn't affect that part of the board, should Grishnak call a heroic move to get this orc out of range of that captain? Zorpazorp always barracks for the good side. The problem is I always barrack for Rohan, and most of these early battle reports are Rohan. Yeah, so let's make Grishnak call a heroic move. So he's going to get to move, as much as he wants. So I think we'll send Grishnak around here to block up that zone, and then go 3 inches and 3 inches for those guys. And now, if the captain wants to run that way, he's going to have to engage Grishnak. So I think we'll go that way. Captain's just going to charge Grishnak. This guy here is going to run round and tap these two. So these two Rohan dudes are going to have to shield and try and hold up. That's going to be tough. These 3 guys with throwing spears are all going to run in, throw their spears, and charge. Let's see if we get any kills. 3 hits? This is better. Needing 5s on all of these dice. No words! Are you kidding me, Rohan? Learn to throw! Alright, the spears are in. And then this guy is going to tap him. I think this bowman's just going to move full this turn. We've got to get someone behind them. These bowmen, they're going to go for 1 more turn of shooting. 3 bows. Straight into one of those dudes. Surely they got to get a hit and kill this turn. Okay. Evil players. We've got all these Uruk-hai over here. Do we run straight this way, full moves, or do we go this way to try and catch these cavalry on priority next turn? I think the answer is probably a bit of both. We'll send some this way. We'll send these guys this way. And what do you reckon about these guys? Do we try and get a catch? It'd have to be up to 2 Uruks. Oh dear. Both is good. Okay, so we'll send Tauriel Luck is almost in range of a charge, but doesn't quite get there, and we'll send Tom Luck. And we might throw a pikeman with them as well. And Ugluk's just going to have to be on his own, and Goldie's going to be on his own. So both Uruk-hai heroes on this side of the board are stuck over here. and the cavalry have ridden around. Things are looking up for Rohan. This is a big turn of combats, though. If Rohan can turn it around and start wounding stuff, it's going to go well. But if the Uruk-hai finally start winning fights, and they'll wound pretty easy. Alright. Darren Jeeves says it's time to make some glue. He's keen to hunt the horses. Let's start over here. We've got one Rohan warrior shielding against Grant Look and an orc. Oh, it's a tie. It goes to the Uruks. They both need 5s. And the Rohan warrior gets away with his bold defensive play. Let's see if we go 2 for 2. Oh, the Uruks have gone double 6s this time. They need 5s to wound. Oh, that Rohan warrior gets away with it too. No one's wounding this game. That is very good for Amma, because it means that he's less in trouble of being overwhelmed there. Oh, I forgot about the shoot phase as well. 3 Rohan bowmen into Merry's orc. He 2-hit, finally. One more 5 and he is out of there. He's dead! Merry is free! Next turn he will act as normal. Finally the Rohan bows do something. That is huge for Rohan. That is huge. Look how many models they've got there. Yeah, that's big. That's really big. Okay, let's go back to combats. We'll save Grishnak till the very end. We've got a captain and an Uruk over the back there. It's a tie, so the Uruk wins it, and he eviscerates the warrior of Rohan. That was Emluk, Damien O'Byrne's wife, absolutely annihilating there. A 1-on-1 here with the Orc. Orc gets it. No, fails to wound. Another 1-on-1 with an Orc. Orc gets it. Fails to wound. Oh, the failing to wound is contagious. Another 1-on-1. Rohan gets it. Rohan fails to wound. Okay, no kills there. We've got 3 big fights left. One shielding warrior of Rohan versus Goldie. Let's see if we can hold Goldie up. Hey, we can. Goldie uses Lord of the East. Oh, Goldie Lord of the East to a 6 and wins the fight on fight value. He'll need a single 5 using Lord of the East to reroll his wound roll. Fails to wound. Ugluk fighting one shielding warrior. Ugluk gets it on a 3. Terrible rolling by everyone. And Ugluk annihilates him. That is the second turn in a row that Ugluk has rolled double 6s for wounding. And as we know, ladies and gentlemen, if you roll 4 6s in a row in any mechanic of the game, you unlock Lord of the West. So, Lord of the East is now granted to the incredible Ugluk. He now rerolls 1 wound roll and 1 dual roll each turn. That's going to be impressive. We just need to get him in combat. He's bloody far away from everything. So, we have 1 combat left. Grishnak fighting the Rohan captain. Let's have a look at Grishnak's profile. This is going to be big. Grishnak really needs to get the win here. He's only fight 4, so he's the same as the Rohan captain. He's 2 wounds, 3 might, 1 fate. So he's got 2 might left in the bag. Let's see what he can do here. Oh, he's going to have to spend might. So he's rolled a 5 high, and the Rohan captain's rolled a 6 high. Do you think... Grishnak has 3 might in total, so he could spend might to tie the fight, because he's only fight 4 in this edition, and then we go to a roll-off. Should we spend the might, or try and tank the wounds? We've got 2 wounds, 1 fate, and this guy's got 2 attacks, and he'll need... Oh, is Grishnak armoured? He might only need 4s to wound. He's a Rohan captain. Oh no, yeah, Grishnak's defense 4 to be 4s to wound. Tank it. Alright, you guys are risking it for the biscuit. The Rohan captain needs 2 4s here to put 2 wounds on him. And he puts 2 wounds on Grishnak with a 5 and a 6. You guys might regret that decision. Fate point. Okay, he passes the fate. Grishnak is in the game with no fate, but he has 2 might. Wow, that hurt Evil big. That hurt Evil really big. Let's see what would have happened if the heroic roll-off happened. Oh, it would have gone to good anyway. So really, you just saved a might point. You just saved a might point. Okay, let's do priority. Okay, it goes to Rohan. That is huge. Grishnak could call. And Amma could counter-call, actually. Amma could counter-call. He's right over here. Evil side, is Grishnak calling that heroic move to get his boys away from the captain? I think he's got to. I think he's got to. He has D5 now, KS. That's why you thought it. But in the old edition, he had D4. He had D4. But, I mean, it's worked. So I think your whole plan was to tank it, survive, and call this move. So Rohan's decision now is, does Rohan call a counter? Because what Rohan could do is call with Amma's last point of might. And then use these warriors to charge, and then ride all the way around with Amma. I don't think Amma's going to have enough might to move. We could make it work. We could make it work, I think. Yep, calling the move. Okay, so both, though, Grishnuk has 1 point of might left and Amma is out. Let's see who gets the roll-off. It goes to Evil. That's really important for Evil. Okay, so Grishnuk, what Grishnuk's going to do is he's going to affect all of these models. So he will have to charge this captain. This orc will charge Merry. And Merry and Pippin, rather. And this orc can run away. Unfortunately, they're going to have to stay in Grishnuk's control zone. So, sorry, within 6 inches. So they can only move to there, basically. Has to be even closer than that. And what I'm going to do is put Merry in front of the orc, which I should have been doing all game to create in the ways. So Grishnuk has 1 left now. Now it goes back to normal Rohan movement. Amma has to move first because he's a heroic move, but he'll just call... he just won't call with me, and he's going to charge these... He's going to ride around and charge these 2. This guy's going to jump on Grishnuk as well. That guy's going to jump on him. These bowmen are going to jump into combat with this orc to try and keep Merry in the fight. And that bowman's going to move full. So, at the very least... Merry cannot be captured this turn because he's in a fight with friendly models. This bowman here is going to run full... You know what? I'm going to half move with him. These Rohan guys will just make charges. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to stop this Uruk-hai, the indomitable Emlock, from running straight to this bowman and trying to get a kill there. So... Rohan, once again, winning the moves over here is pretty big. They can just ride off into the sunset with these cavalry. 8 inches. Oh, yeah, actually, that guy should have moved first. So, this cav will ride around the back to stay away from that guy. And then this guy is going to go... 8... And then, I don't want to leave myself open to that Uruk-hai charging me. So, I'm actually just going to go, I'll just go in on this guy as well. So I'm not getting charged this turn at least. And yeah, then that guy will go over there. These guys are just still chasing the cav. I've got one model over here who should be moving first, and he's going to charge Ugla to tie him up. If the Uruks can get priority, they've just got so much support now. Goldie's chasing after Amma. Like, they've got numbers, they've just got numbers in the wrong spot, but in 2 turns' time, their numbers are going to be in the right spot. So it's looking good for Rohan right now, but I think this could swing pretty quickly. Especially as everyone only moves 3 inches. Okay, shooting phase. I've got 1 shot with that bowman straight into Pippin. 4s to hit. He misses. Damn. Okie dokie. There's no shooting for Evil. It is combat time. You know what would be really good if Grishnuk could call Heroic Defense. But the Heroic action doesn't exist yet, and he doesn't have it anyway. Let's just go side to side, I think. We'll do the fun ones at the end. So we've got a Rohan warrior versus an orc over here. Ooh, it's 6s. That means it's a tied fight, actually, because they're both fight value. And it goes to the orc. Fails to wound him. Amma on the charge against 2 Uruk-hai. They can't shield because one has a pike. Oh, man, the Uruks win the fight. The Uruks win the fight. I think we'll go for his horse, right? I'll let you guys decide that. Are they going to go for the horse? He doesn't have any might. He can't change that. We'll come back in a sec. Let's do the orc versus... the Warrior of Rohan at the back. I just rolled 2 dice of the same colour. That's not helpful to anyone. Ooh, the Orc gets it. Doesn't make a kill. 2 Cav on the charge and an infantry against 1 Uruk. The Cav get it. Taking double strikes, they get the kill. Down goes an Urukai. Getting these cav on the charge. This is better. Oh, only 3 high, but they still win. And they fail to wound him there. And get him on double 6s. There we go. 2 kills in 1 turn for Rohan. Cav on the charge against single infantry ganged up. That's big. That's big. That's big. Alright, what are we thinking here? Put them on the horse till it's dead. Put him on the horse till it's dead. Alright, so 4's on Amma's horse. He lives. He dies. So Amma gets thrown. And he's fine. Now I have to get a dismount for Amma. Do I have that ready in the cabinet here by pure coincidence? I've got his dad. I've got his dad. And then Theoden joins the battle. Okay, so Amma's knocked off his horse. Let's go. What other big fights have we got left? I think it's just the big... Oh, no, we've got Ugluk. We'll do Ugluk here. Fighting one dude. My dude's going to shield. Oh, Ugluk's lost the fight again. And backs away. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, no, Horse Lord doesn't exist yet, so no fading the horse. Alright, we've got 2 fights left. Let's do Merry and Pippin. So Pippin is fighting with the white dice, because he's at -1, and then 1 Orc Warrior. The Orc Warrior wins on a big 6. A big 6. Now, he can't strike at Pippin, and he can't capture him, so he's just going to kill a bowman, hopefully. Oh, cocks die. He gets a bowman! What a clutch play from the Orc Warrior. Not only does he not die, he kills a bowman. Alright, now the really big one. Grishnark, Captain, and 1 Rohan Warrior. Let's see, let the Captain and Rohan set the tone. They're on double 6s. Grishnark has to get a 6 here to tie. He gets the 6! He gets the 6. Okay, we're going down to a roll-off here. Come on, Grishnark. Do it for Sauron. It goes to evil! Grishnark wins the fight. Alright, he's going to sink a wound on each, prioritizing the captain, because he's only on 1 wound. Oh, fails to wound, though. That is a shame. Could have got a handy captain kill there. I also forgot that Ugluk has Lord of the East, which doesn't change anything. Okay, so, let's review. Amma lost his horse. Grishnark didn't die. The orc got a kill up the back. That was, even though the orcs, they evil lost 2 warriors, that could have been so much worse. Unfortunately, Ugluk is still stuck down here at the bottom of the board. I would say this game is perfectly poised right now. And there is no might points left on the board. No, Grishnark still has 1. And it's not going to matter because he has 1 priority. So, Grishnark has got to set this up perfectly. What is he going to do? This guy right here, he's going to move 3. Grishnark, no, that guy's going to tag that guy. That guy's going to tag that guy. Grishnark, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with your point of might? I think what Grishnark has to do is charge Merry to stop him from running off. And then... Oh, I've got models now! I've got models now! So we can throw this guy into the captain and the sword. See, this is what I mean. 1 big priority win, and all of a sudden, this is a different game. This is such a different game. I am going to throw that guy in. Oh, I'm going to spear support the captain. That's a good idea. Goldie. Oh, Goldie's on Amma. Goldie's on Amma with a 3. Oh, actually, he'll be just short of movement, so Goldie will just charge. I guess he can go in on spear support, though. So they won't be able to get the trap, but he can go in on spear support. I mean, this is massive. Ugluk just runs. And now all of these cav get charged. The last cav on the board have been charged. They're going to run around the back. They've got priority, so if they set up their charge right, that can be a 3-point trap. He's going to negate those 2. Okay, every model on the board except Ugluk is engaged. This is so big. This is so big. Evil is about to pick Merry back up. See how much this swung? I thought Rohan were going to dominate. And it just turned right back around. Right back around. Okay. Mater Cola says, ponies, boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew. When was Horse Lord added to the game? That was in this edition. So only 2 years ago. Let's jump into combats. There's not going to be any heroics, I don't think. Oh, you know what? Guys, Team Evil, should we call a heroic combat with Grishnak? Because if he kills Merry, picks him up, all he has to do is win the fight, picks him up, he can start moving as part of that heroic move. I'll let you guys decide that because it's not going to interfere with anything else. Let's start over here. Warrior of Rohan versus Orc. Goes to Rohan. Big kill. Jesus, that's important. Numbers on this side of the board are important. Let's do the other one-on-one in here. Oh, Rohan wins it. Big kill. 2 in a row. Rohan are back in the game. Let's do Captain on Captain. He's no longer outnumbered, so there's no horn blowing. So we've got both captains. We've got and a supporting model for each. So it doesn't matter because they've got no might. So it's just 3 dice on each, and the fight value is tied. Oh, it goes to Rohan on a 6. Geez, that was some terrible rolling. Only 1 dice above a 3. Rohan have got it, and they're not trapped. They're just sinking all their attacks into the captain, and they get 2 wounds on the captain. Down goes the Uruk-hai horn-blowing captain. This is a massive start for Rohan. 3 turns, 3 kills. So Evil have decided to do the heroic combat, so let's do that first. Merry is fighting at -1, and he doesn't have any war gear, so he can't shield. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, look at this, look at this! Merry gets a 5, but it goes down to a 4, and Grishnak wins on a tie because of his fight value. So Grishnak wins the combat, and as he picks up Merry automatically, and the heroic combat move allows him to make 3-inch dash towards the Vord Edge. Okay. So an early win for Evil, but then 3 kills for Rohan consistently. Let's do over here. We've got a 2-on-1 with Rohan against 1 Orc. Rohan winner on a 6. No kills though. Alright, now it's looking better for Evil. Uruk-hai versus the Cav. They just win. I think we still go for horses as per the guy's requests. And they get it. Good decision. Good decision. Throne Rider. He's fine. So they kill the horse. Evil have priority, so they can do that one first. It's a 1-on-1 with the horseman. And Evil wins it, goes for the horse, fails to kill... Oh, he's trapped though. Fails to kill the horse, backs away. And then the last 1-on-1 over that side goes to Rohan this time. Rohan don't get a kill. So a lot dying this turn. A lot dying. 1 horse and 4 models so far. Now we have the last big combat. Oh, we got a 1-on-1 up the back there. Right up here. Orc versus Rohan Bowman. Ooh, Orc gets it on a 6. Fails to wound. But the Bowman happily backs away. He's important. Oh, we got another one on... so this is Emluk. Is it Emluk? Yeah. Emluk fighting the Bowman up the back. Oh, Emluk gets it. Oh, this is huge! So much dying this turn. Evil have totally swung this around. Amma has got to do something here. He's got a shield. Actually, he doesn't have a shield, does he? No. So it's Amma versus 2 warriors and Goldie Pike supporting. Let's set the tone with the Evil first. Oh, Goldie gets a big 6. Doesn't even need Lord of the East. And Amma can't match it. They deal him 2 wounds, and he passes his fate point. Amma is still alive. How much fate does he have? He's got 2, so he's got 1 fate remaining. Massive stuff there. Right, priority. No one has any might, and Evil have 1 priority. Absolutely massive. 3-inch move for the 2 dudes with the models. This Orc guy's going to run over here, and all of these guys are just getting ganged up to stop them from moving anywhere. And most importantly, Ugluk is now back in the center of the board. Goldie's gonna get on Theoden. So even though Evil did well there. There's still one free Rohan model. That guy's obviously way away, but this bowman. So I think what's got to happen is this bowman is going to charge with this orc. They're going to have to try and get a kill. Either that or he just takes a Hail Mary shot at that bowman and gets Pippin dropped. Jeez, that's not a great percentage play, but I think Rohan are in trouble. So what? Okay, tell you what he's going to do. He's going to move right here and get the perfect line into that guy, and then if he wins priority next turn, he'll be able to charge Grishnak to stop him from running away. I think that's what we got to do. One shot. What do you think, Rohan, guys? Is that dumb, or should I put him in combat? You guys can't trap Amma, unfortunately, because you didn't have enough... I guess if you do trap Amma, those two guys will be unengaged, but you can do that if you want. And then... If you trap Amma, it will leave 2 free models, which mean I'll be able to start running towards the back of the board. So I think you should probably do that. Okay. Priority. Not priority. Shooting. Yeah, not worth the trap, says KS. Okay. Shooting, shooting, shooting. This moment could decide the game. The Warrior of Rohan needs to hit. He hits on a 6. He needs to roll a 5 to kill the orc. Okay, so that's a 33% chance, and there was a 4 to hit. So this is literally a 16.5% chance of going off right now. Needing a 5 to keep us in the game. Oh, he gets it on a 6! The orc is shot, and Pippin is dropped. Rohan Bowman clutching it. Absolutely clutching it. James Carver's wonderful bowman there doing the work, and Pippin is free. That helps so much. So much. Okay, let's jump into combat. 1-on-1. We've got Grimbold versus Grantlook, named after the famous Grimbold. Grimbold loses, though, and dies. Shouldn't have talked about his name. It's unlucky. Let's go the Rohan captain fighting Muldoonluck. Oh, he rolls lots of 1s in that fight, but luckily the captain gets a 6. And Muldoonluck is still alive. God, this captain's struggling to kill anything. Let's do Amma versus Goldie and the Urukai. Wow, that's a lot of 1s. A lot of 1s. Luckily, there's a 5 for the Urukai. Amma, I enjoyed painting your mounted version, but you are now off the board. Amma is finished. He wounded Goldie, and that's it. He didn't do much this game. He had a tough draw. Let's do 1-on-1 up the back. Spearman versus Spearman. Goes to Rohan. This is an important model positionally, especially after that kill. Especially after that kill. Another 1-on-1 against Tariel Luck. Goes to Tariel this time. And she makes a kill in return, angered by her brethren's death. Another 1-on-1. This is Sharlook. Oh, Sharlook gets it. Doesn't get the wound. Her poor little tiny young girl arms can't do with the mustard. Another 1-on-1 up the back. This is Tomlook. Oh, Tomlook does something. Not enough, though. And then Hammondlook fighting the last cavalry on the board. And the horseman's not ready to leave yet. A big horsey 6. And he eviscerates Hammondluck. Death all over the board. Alright, 1-on-1 up the back. Another super important one right near the bow. Right near the hobbits. Goes to Rohan. A kill here is massive. No luck. Okay. This priority is so damn big. So damn big. It goes to Rohan. Okay, so, first of all, Pippin can now full move and run 4 inches off to the board. So he is now in a scoreable position. So next turn, Pippin gets off the board. Grishnak is going to get charged, and this bowman is going to charge that model there. So right now, Pippin will automatically get off the board next turn because no orc can catch him. So, how does that affect our victory conditions? Let's have a look at what Evil can do to save this. There we go. Merry or Pippin. So that doesn't matter. Pippin no longer means anything. It's all about Merry. So that orc's going to jump in and try and help Grishnark. And, oh, actually, before that, I've got more moves to make, because Rohan won priority. Oh, he's just out of range. The captain is going to run. We're just going to run. We're just going to run. We can't afford to get charged, so we're staying out of range of all the other Uruk-hai models. Oh, I just can't catch him. Okay, we'll go this way. We're just going to tag everybody and then free up my cav. 8 inches. 2 inches. Alright, we've got a cav in the game, and he's setting up more than 6 inches away. No, he's just got to go as close as possible. Okay. Let's zoom this camera in. Let's get a close-up on the state of play. So, Pippin is just off the board edge. We've got Cav here. We've got Grishnark here fighting one model. The orcs have yet to move, so that orc's going to jump on Grishnark for sure. Goldie, these guys can all they can do is just run. All they can do is run. I tell you what, Muldoon Luck will probably run back and stop this guy. So, we got Rohan model, orcs, Rohan model, a big mix of fights in here, and then one big fight with one Rohan warrior bravely sacrificing himself to stop Grishnark from moving this turn, and a 1-on-1. Let's start with the fights up the back. There's no shooting this turn. Ooh, 1-on-1 here for Muldoon Luck. Ooh, goes to the Uruk, and he puts him down. There goes the last dismounted rider. Let's go Sharluk. She won last turn but couldn't get the kill. Ooh, she's won again. And she hasn't managed it. Tauriel Luck failed the kill again. Oh no, she got a kill last turn. She's on a chain here. No luck though. Arod survives. And then we've got Tom Luck fighting one warrior of Rohan. Jeez, Uruk-hai have won every fight so far and haven't made a kill. Jeez. That's tough luck for the Uruks there. We've got one more 1-on-1 up the back between the plucky bowman who nailed the shot and M-Luck. M-Luck has lost the fight, and the bowman fails to wound. That would have been massive. That would have been massive. Okay. Grishnark, 2 attacks. The Orc, 1 attack. And the bowman, a single attack. Let's see what we've got here. Grishnark has rolled a 4 high with no might. This is so winnable for the bowman. This is another 33% chance looking for a 5 for Rohan to be in a much better position. Oh, they get it again! No way! No way! And Grishnark is actually trapped. Oh no, he's not, because that model can make way. And Pippin is dropped. And alert and happy. And now, we've got a chance to put a wound on Grishnark, who I believe is on 1 wound, no fate. On a 5 here, Grishnark's off the board. Get him out of here! What a clutch from the bow department of Rohan. Sniping the kill last turn to free Merry, and one bowman fighting Grishnark and an orc, and eviscerating Grishnark to save Merry. This is all going Rohan now. Dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Let's go. Let's go. Next turn. This is a big priority. If Rohan win this priority, it's going to be very difficult for the Uruk-hai to win the game. That Uruk-hai come in strong. One last fighting chance for them on a big 6. So the first thing they've got to do is they've got to get someone in combat with Merry. So the only person in range is Goldie or this model here. Oh, and this orc. Okay, so M-Look is going to piss off the Cav because we can't afford to have any charging Cav. Here, we'll get these charges. And this guy is just going to start running to be ready for next turn. This captain has to be dealt with, and I think that is Ugluk's job. Ugluk's going to tie up... No, Ugluk can go on him. That model is going to jump on Pippin, running around the back. Goldie is going to jump on this bowman. Satluk is going to jump on him, and he is going to jump on him. Wow. Oh, I've got a visitor. Hello. What yummies have you got? Yummy grapes.
Should I tell you how it works?
No.
We're gonna go out. Is it my wallet?
Should have been in the nappy bag yesterday.
Yes. Well, yours was in the nappy bag, mine's not.
Okay, I don't know. We'll find out. Alright, apologies for the interruption, people. So, no shooting this turn, and of course, Pippin moves off the board. So Pippin has safely escaped, and now we have a whole lot of really big fights. Let's do these over on the side here. 1-on-1 with Tomluck. Tomluck loses. Tomluck dies. His uselessness continues. Tauriel versus Arod. Tauriel finally loses, and she dies! Rohan! My goodness! Sharluk fighting a swordsman. Rohan wins, and Sharluk dies! 3 fights, 3 dead Urukai! That is crazy. Grantlook versus Amma. Grantlook's won it right in the middle, and he puts down a warrior of Rohan. 4 combats, 4 deaths. Ugluk fighting the captain. 2 attacks each. And Ugluk clutches it on a 6. Here, the captain has 1 wound left. Ugluk is strength 5. He just needs a 4, and he eviscerates him. Wow, guys. 5 combats, 5 dead models. The board just halved in population. Emluk fighting the Cav who hasn't charged. Emluk gets it, goes for the horse, and eviscerates the horse. Throne Rider, and that model is fine. Emluk could have gone for the Rider. She rolled a big 6. But we never risk it here. We need to get rid of those Cav. 6 fights, 6 dead models. This is insane. Satluk fighting the Bowman who did the big beautiful snipe. Oh, Satluk wins on fight value. Oh no, it's a dead model. He's got no shield. 7 fights, 7 dead models. What the hell is going on? And now, Goldie fighting a single Bowman. What do we want? 2 black. Alright, I can roll dice. Oh, Goldie's got it. Goldie's got it. Needing 4s. Lord of the West? No! Oh, Goldie, of all people, breaks the streak. So the Bowman survives, and we had 7 combats in a row where somebody died. Grishnak fighting Merry at -1. Not Grishnak, sorry, an Orc. Fighting Merry. Merry loses because of his -1. So Merry is picked up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, oh my god, that was a lot of dead models. A lot of dead models. Alright, another big priority here. Goes to Rohan this time, swinging back. I think it might be too little too late. I don't think Rohan can do this. After being in such a position of power. Rohan are picked up, there's just nothing they can do. So this model here can charge that guy, and this Bowman can charge Goldie and Satluk. I guess he could charge like that, because he had plenty of move. Emluk can still catch him. So this poor Bowman is going to be fighting 2 Orcs to try and take back and free Merry. He's just got to try and hold them up, I guess. Muldoonluck is going to get in there, and then these Bowmen are just going to sprint. Sprint, sprint, sprint to try and have an impact next turn. What they will do is sprint so they can't get charged by Ugluk, though. And then Ugluk can jump in on this guy, and he's just going to go to the center. Alright, let's zoom in even more for you guys. This is gnarly. Oh, we're at max. Okay, well, I can just do a little delicate reframe. Everyone of importance for good is dead. There is 2 bowmen, 2 spearmen, and a swordsman. It's the warriors of Rohan and 1 dismounted rider doing the work. Let's start with the 1-on-1s. Brago fighting Muldoon. Brago wins the fight. Big kill here, Brago. Come on, big boy. Start us off. He gets a 6! Brago! God, it's just carnage! Carnage on the board. Alright. Now we'll do the other big one. We've got 1 warrior of Rohan, Ugluk, Goldie, and an Urukai. Let's do them. They are on 6s, so they win on fight value, and they just eviscerate the poor Bowman. There was nothing they could do there. absolutely nothing. So somehow this Warrior of Rohan has to win the fight and kill the orc. Let's do it. Let's do it. He does not. He does not, and he is murdered for his naughtiness trying to steal their beloved hobbit. 3 Warriors of Rohan on the board left now. Let's jump into priority. It's a big 2 and a 6. A 6 for evil. They will half-inch off the board, and they will make charges on everyone who is left. Goldie and Ugluck can hold the fort. We got a 1-on-1 combat here. Brago is killed. It'll be a 1-on-1 with Grantluck. Grantluck does not die. 1 Warrior of Rohan left. Arod. He is not dead. Alright, we're into the next turn. Priority. Oh, it goes to evil again. They're 1 move away from the board edge, and they are officially in range and unable to be caught. There will be 1 fight left, and it will be Goldie and Emlook fighting Arod. Emlook wins the fight for them, and Goldie, with his Lord of the West, puts in the kill. Second last Rohan model dead, and then Ugluck and Grantlook. They're on 5s, Rohan Warriors on 3s, and Ugluck puts him down. What absolute carnage! In the last 3 turns, I think about 15 models died after nothing being wounded all game. Pippin got off the board safely, but Merry was captured and taken to Saruman. Absolutely savage! And Amandil Aramanth says, the tree in the center is now an Ent. I like it. I'm on board. Alright, so the Ent charges Ugluck, and all the other Uruks remaining jump in. So the Ent, I don't even know what the Ent profile is. Let me grab my rule book. Hang on, it's under the table. No, it should be Treebeard. Let's make it Treebeard. He was watching the fight from his little hill. Treebeard's decided to jump on down. Where the hell is Treebeard? Here we go. Treebeard. So he's got... Oh my god, he's a beast. Okay. And you know what? He's going to intervene. He's going to intervene just before Merry gets left off the board for the moral victory. Okay, so a big 3 attacks for Treebeard. He's fight 8. He's rolled a 6. He wins the fight. He is going to use the bludgeon brutal power attack, which I have never got to use before, and I'm incredibly excited. So, select 1 enemy model in the fight to become the bludgeon. If the model is a cavalry model, the rider is picked up and immediately dismounted. The model cannot be a monster. Select another model in the fight to hit with bludgeon. Both the target and the bludgeon suffer a strength 8 hit. If the target is slain, the Ent may pick another target. I'm going to pick up Ugluck, and I'm going to hit Satluck. I need a 3 to wound him. Satluck is dead. And Ugluck takes a hit. Ugluck takes a wound. Ugluck is now on 1 wound. I am going to hit Emluck. Emluck lives! But Ugluck does not. Alright. 3 Urukai left. Let's go priority. This is the madness. Oh, Evil have got it. Merry still has a chance. He's off the board. And these guys run around. They've got the 3-point trap. They've got the 3-point trap. I'll just make sure you guys can see. Yep. Alright, into the combat phase. The big Ent rolls, and he gets a 6 again. This time I'm picking up Goldie. I'm hitting Grantluck. Oh, Grantluck survives. But Goldie loses his final wound. Goldie is dead, and of course, respawns on Goldie's hill. Let's do priority. I need to catch Merry. He's still going to get off the board. It's a tie, so it goes to good. How far do Ents move? Move 6. Only move 6. Okay, I'm not going to catch them this turn. I'll just charge them both. I'll go like this. And they can charge. Yes, they're passing all terror because I said so. We've got 2 orcs fighting Treebeard. Goldie moves full. Treebeard rolls another 6. Goes for bludgeon. Kills them both. No, only kills 1 actually. I should probably just be making strikes at this point, but I really like the bludgeon brutal power attack. Priority. It's a 1. It goes to evil. They're 1 more move off the board. They make charges. There's still a chance. There's still a chance for Treebeard to catch them and save Merry. Oh, Treebeard's rolled terribly this time, though. Big 3s from Goldie and a 1 from Ugla. Goldie's got Lord of the East. Lord of the East's up to a 5. Treebeard will spend 2 points of might. And he has to call a heroic combat this turn as well. So he's now out of might. And he is putting normal strikes. What do I got to get? No, you know what? I'm not. I'm going to pick him up. I'm going to pick him up. No, I'm not. 1 strike on Ugluk. Dead. 2 strikes on Goldie. Dead! I love 3s to wound. This is insane. Heroic combat goes off. I'm close enough. If I win priority, I will catch them. It's a tie! Evil gets priority. Oh no, Evil had priority, right? Yes! No? Yes! So, I'll just move him here so you guys can see clearly. The last fight is Treebeard fighting a single orc. Treebeard wins and kills the orc and saves Pippin, Merry. The moral victory. Thank you, Tree, for being Treebeard in that moment of madness at the end there. But overall, in the main game, it was victory for Evil, with Pippin escaping, but Merry being taken off to the clutches of Saruman. So, what a game! Let me swing this camera down. You guys can see it all. See all the magic behind the scenes live now. Alright, you guys should still be able to hear me. What an absolutely crazy game! Started off really slow tempo, no one was getting wounded. I honestly think what won the game was just like getting that charge early, pinning the cavalry. We saw what the cavalry could do when they got the charge and had a good fight. They just annihilated. But Amma and the cav didn't really manage to do anything. It swung so much. I haven't played a game here on the stream that had like so many momentum swings. I was like, Rohan can't win this. Oh god, Urukar can't win this. Oh, Rohan can't win this. Ah, Rohan have got it. Oh my god, the Uruks won! Like, that was gnarly. Let me jump into the chat here. Alright, that was absolutely crazy. And it's 11, so just over 3 hours. Cool. Grishnak MVP, says Maito Kolo. He did work. He tanked by taking like swords to the face, and then he called vital heroic moves. I think the MVP is Rohan Bowman. They kept Rohan in the game like 4 extra turns. Getting that snipe kill, killing Grishnak, was 2 bowmen that had run in from the sides. That was massive. And if they had just died or missed that kill, you know, Evil would have won straight away. So let's look at the exact victory conditions. Oh, I just ripped out a page. Whoopsies. So good wins. Yeah, no, so it's an Evil win. So it's not a draw because it's like 1 hobbit each. It is an Evil win. Yeah, that is a tricksy scenario. Ugluk did well. He just got stuck over here. Yeah, alright, so now there's but one thing left to do, and let's see who gets to become the official sponsor of our wonderful Amma. Let me grab the Patreon wheel, which you will notice is beautifully updated with printed out names. Decided to give it a bit of a clean up. Alright, let's come on in. I'm going to grab my dice. I'll move this over here, and we'll do a little pan down, so you guys can see a bit better. So if I'm here, you'll be able to see. Beautiful. Let's get me a dice. So, who is going to become the official sponsor of Amma? Oh, that's good. The mic's like right in my face. That's really excellent, Lockie. Alright, so, we're going to give it a big old spin, and let's see which of the quadrants it lands in. That might be the fastest I've ever spun it. That was maximum spins. Oh, goddamn, we got to re-roll. I used to call this jackpot, but not anymore. Let's just give something away. Alright, we have landed just in number 8. So, our potential winners are Daystro the Dexterous, who was watching today, Chris Oderburn, Stuart McElwain, Tyler Gilbert, Tom Marshall, Kieran Voice, who was watching today, Brendan Lyon, Bruno Altavilla, Tom Wilkie, John Cincy, and Zeke Lee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Numbers between 1 and 11 on the D20. Let's see what we can do. Where's the camera? Right here. Alright, we have got number 17. That's a reroll. Number 4. It is... Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-bum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mr. Tyler Gilbert. You are now the official sponsor of Amma, Marshal of the Riddermark, and he has a long journey in this campaign. There are lots of juicy scenarios where you'll be barracking for Amma. We'll write the little name on his base and keep record of his... Well, he might need to do a little more. So far, all he's done is wounded Goldie and get his horse cut out from under him and then get brutally massacred. But I'm sure that there are better times ahead for him. He's not the powerhouse that we know and love as the current AMR. He's an underdog. And who doesn't love barracking for the underdog? So there we go, Mr. Tyler Gilbert, number 4. You are now the official sponsor of AMR, Marshal of the Riddermark. And then once his journey is over in the campaign, I will post him out to wherever you live in the world. And you can put him on your shelf as a little display piece as part of the Zorpazorp Patreon campaign. So, thank you so much for everyone for watching. We had such a good attendance today. There's still 80 of you lads watching now. So thank you, boys and girls. I think that's pretty much it. In 2 weeks' time, why don't we have a look at what we're doing? Picking it up without ripping a page this time. So, we are issue 19. Right, so, we're getting into Mines of Moria stuff, which we've already done. So, we might be doing one more Mines of Moria scenario, I think. And then moving into Mordor Orcs. And some Osgiliath stuff, potentially. Lots of cool options for us. I'll have to make a decision based on what board we're going to do next, but I think it'll be Mines of Moria. Because I have the tentacles. That's right. Yeah, that could be pretty cool. I want to do that board with a nice little lake build, though, so we'll wait and see. We might not do that next week. But, cool stuff. So much cool stuff coming. Thank you so much for watching, guys. There probably won't be a video out this week. It'll be next week. The next big Star Wars Legion battle report is coming out. Then there's some juicy 40k content and a whole bunch of Minas Tirith and lots of stuff all on the way in the future. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to be on this wheel, make sure you head over and check out Patreon. Link down in the description below to get yourself a chance to get in the campaign. So, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. And yeah, stay safe, everybody. Good times.